caught with like he like they caught him in the bathroom. He just dumped out like all the weed. You remember that old bathroom like upstairs?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know what you mean by the art
yeah,
room.
yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah. Yeah, and the whole school is just like moved, or that side of the school is
But I
goofing.
also feel like they started capping like the last couple of years because they stopped doing like drug tests. Like there used to be on that, like, and then they just stopped.
Yeah, no, it was it definitely got weird. Like Howard was weird. Oh,
And then I remember like, dude, wait, were you there for Fairly? You
yeah,
remember?
when she was,
I don't even know when she left, but like
yeah, no, I definitely,
because like hella, because there's hella administration that like left or like came left and came back, and like different guidance counselors.
if Miss Fairley's back, oh my god.
I remember she used to be like the guys couldn't wear tank tops or wear something. It was like you don't have titties. Like what do you do?
Yeah, it was crazy. But no, all the girls at Howard hated Miss Fairley, bro. She was wild.
No,
Done.
she was hateable. Yeah.
Caroline, how was like did you guys get dress coded a lot? Because that was like a big thing at our school.
Well, I went to private school. I don't know if you knew that. I went to Catholic school for like most of my life. So I was wearing a uniform, but there was definitely there's like some I actually have like on my phone, I have a notes app of like some of the crazy stuff that happened. As far as just like I mean, like it's kind of deep. Like there was some like legit like sexism and like racism and stuff happening at my high school. Like crazy stuff. But like there's this one story you'll find funny. When I was a freshman in high school, so I was wearing a uniform, like we all wore uniforms, and they called like the whole senior class like, randomly to the auditorium because there was like 200, I think there was like 180 to 200 people per grade, so like they called the whole grade, and then like they basically like lectured them and like measured their uniforms, and then there was this whole like uprising after that. Like the grade like wrote a letter like talking about how like screwed up it was that like there was like comments made and stuff.
Mhm.
So they wrote like a whole letter, and there was like a petition that was like and then also like at first it was like you can wear any sweatshirt, like I think it was like any sweatshirt you want like during certain times, but then they changed it to like you can only wear like navy and gray sweatshirts.
Mm.
And then they changed it to like you can only wear navy and gray sweatshirts coming into the building, but you have to take them off the second you walk into the building.
Mm.
Um, yeah, there was some crazy stuff.
Wait, so did you go to one of the Catholic schools like with only girls, or was it like both?
Yeah, I did. I
Dang.
did.
How was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
It was really interesting. What parts of it? Like I can tell you a ton about it because it was also like super like I don't know, it was like a formative experience. So I learned a lot there. Like, but what parts of it?
Well, when did you leave first? Because I think that's
Yeah.
gonna set up my question.
When
Like
did
what?
I leave?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, oh wait, you went to like Catholic high school, like you graduated from Catholic high school?
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, in Towson. I went to Catholic high school in Towson.
Mm.
Yeah, but I
Wait, so
graduated 2019.
Okay.
so
Yeah.
is it like was it like a boys' school close? Cause I don't know like
Hmm.
about these. Okay, so like when
Yeah,
you
no,
guys
I
have
could.
like dances and stuff, it's like co-ed dances and everything.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Okay, so the school I went to, we had like brother schools, and it was really like schools because I went to all girls schools. I think like a lot. I mean, there were some like co-ed schools. I know like y'all know the area kind of, right? Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
went to school in Towson. Okay, so um there was like mostly like all the Catholic schools there were like all girls or all guys. That's just how it was. I think it's like a Baltimore area thing, to be honest,
Hmm.
because like the schools are founded. A lot of the private schools there were founded like a long time ago or whatever, and that's just how it's always been. So we would do certain things with guys' schools, like we shared buses with guys' schools, and then like they didn't have like well, actually, the guys' schools would host dances called mixers, um, but we didn't have like any like mixers we hosted that the only certain guys' schools could come to. We would have dances, but like people could bring anyone. Girls could bring girls. Like my like high school was like as far as like Catholic private schools, even being all girls, it was like people called us like pretty progressive as far as like the group we fell into, like
Yeah.
the like
You guys
Catholic.
could bring
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah, yeah. Like girls could bring girls to dances. There was like of course it's like a long conversation because there was definitely like a lot of issues
Yeah.
with everything, but yeah. So and then what else did we do with the guy? We didn't really like do much like specific with the guys' schools besides like the mixers. That's what they called them. But yeah.
That's interesting. I
It
always
sure
wondered.
was.
I always wondered how, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it sounds kind of like heavy to say impacted, but like how that kind of.
Yeah.
So I mean, a big part of development is like relationships with the other gender or other genders, other sexes. So
Hmm. I would say, um, like it was definitely like I said, like it was going to an all girls school was like it becomes part of your identity, like because there was like obviously there was like a lot different. There's a lot of differences going like to an all girls school.
mhm.
Um, a lot of like I would say, sadly, well, a lot of like the stereotypes about it are like kind of correct. Like it was like a very like girly environment. I don't know, girls were just very comfortable being girls like at school. Um,
Mhm.
but as far as like not mingling or whatever with like guys, I guess that was definitely like not a thing. People, when I was a senior, like most of my friend group was in relationships. They were straight, like with guys. And we like definitely did like we didn't really like collaborate that much with other girls' schools, but we did do some things with like other schools in general. Also like with sports. Obviously we were playing girls teams because like that's the league we were in.
Right.
But I don't know, like it was definitely sheltered. 100% it was a sheltered environment.
Hmm.
But it wasn't at least from my school, it wasn't nearly as much as a bubble as it was at like less progressive schools. Like there was one or two schools that I knew of that are were both Catholic and all girls
Hmm.
that were stricter, like way stricter as far as like what you would expect from a Catholic private all girls school. Like I'm trying to think of like examples. Just like I couldn't go on my phone during the day like at all, but like they would get in like a lot of trouble if they did. That's one thing though that was kind of crazy. I forgot is like we couldn't use our phones at all. Um,
Even like lunch in the hallways and everything.
never.
Dang.
It's
Yeah,
interesting
yeah.
because I
People
remember
would
that
do it.
in middle school.
Yeah, people would do it.
Well, yeah.
Like people would use their phones in certain classes or like when I was a senior, we had this thing called the senior lounge where people would use their phones. And like you would get in trouble. It was like a rule.
That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know for us, like, actually, what do you think, Sam? Was it a big deal at school?
Using our phones during class or in the hallway, you mean?
Yeah, like I don't remember ever getting my phone taken. I remember getting like written up for using it.
Yeah. I know, like before, like I remember them being like, "Oh, you put like one of your earbuds. I'll take one of your earbuds out your ear when you're walking the hallway or some yada
Bro, I
yada
used
thing,"
to hate
which made no sense. I'm not in the classroom yet, so why are you on me late?
that. Right. Yeah, nah, I used to get in trouble like that too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was actually though one thing like I learned um was like people started to do I guess like their research into like what the schools could get away with or whatever. And like it seemed like they could get away with a lot because there were a lot of stories from one of the boys' schools that like my school was close with, where like they would get their phones taken, and they like if their phone was unlocked, the school had a rule that it was subject to search, and kids would get like in legitimate trouble for like their phones would like get taken and be unlocked, and then their phones would get searched. It was some crazy stuff. And then like
Search.
yeah, like legit like if the okay, so there's this infamous story where these guys from the school like had their phones out when they weren't supposed to, and it was unlocked, and they had it like unlocked like I guess on Snapchat or something, and they're smoking weed, and from
Mm,
like their phone getting taken or whatever, like I guess like the videos got like the school was able to like save the videos under whatever rule happened. All those kids got sent to like school has like a drug program, so like they had to start getting drug tested. They had to do like hand like I don't know, just like a drug program, all because like their phone was unlocked and open when it was taken. So that was like some crazy stuff because like people started to question like what the school could get away with. Not my school, but well, I mean, it happened at my school in different ways, but that was not at my school.
yeah, dang. Okay, I get it now. That makes sense. I mean,
Mm.
it's crazy, but it makes sense.
Do you guys have like any like fights at your school or?
So, uh, like not really, no. Um, no, it was like there was definitely a lot of drama, but it was like dumb high school drama.
Right.
There wasn't fights in my school. There was fights at, like I said, the guy school I was talking about, like they had fights.
Really,
Yeah.
I'm kind of
there's,
surprised
there's no
because
females, so you know it's like so like
I was gonna say I feel like at our school, most of the like at least half the fights where I knew what it was over was
yeah.
about a girl. So
No, all the damn time over. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
always
funny.
always getting always. It's crazy. Sad.
Do you guys have any famous people from your school or
Um,
famous people yet?
so I will say this is just funny because it's like it's so okay. The school I went to did like everyone I was surrounded with were very smart, often very talented people. So there's a lot of I went to school with a lot of cool people. Famous people that you would know by name, no. However, there's a girl in the grade above or who was in the grade above me who is now like a legit model, like a legit supermodel. She's like famous on Instagram, but she also
Okay.
like is like a runway model and stuff. And then um funny enough, there's a few girls. The music program at my school was really good, my high school. I had a music teacher because I did chorus for 4 years, all 4 years. Um, and I had the best chorus teacher ever. And I think maybe like the school attracted people that were good at music too. So there was a girl, I believe she graduated in 2016, but she is like now she has a platform for sure, to the point where she's going on tour. Do you guys know Coin, like the band? Have you heard of Coin?
Coin.
They're like, I think they're like indie, maybe alternative,
Okay.
but she's going on tour with like this band that like is like, let me see how many streams they have. Like they're like, I'm pretty sure they have like millions of streams.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's like yeah, they have like millions of streams, but she, I would call her famous. As far as like I don't think there's any like um other famous alum. However, let me see.
I think Howard has had two.
Who
Yeah,
I
who
can
are
only think of
they?
one, but who's the other person?
The other guy, I'm blanking on his name, but he's married to Serena Williams. He
Oh,
made Reddit.
yes.
Oh,
Alex.
Right,
Oh, hi,
right.
and
oh, funny
okay.
enough, actually, at my that reminds me, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but at
No,
my
you're good.
brother's school, he went to the guy's high school I've been talking about actually, but he found out the other day that someone he graduated with is dating, I think, Steph Curry's sister,
Wow.
something like, or like also might play basketball himself. The guy he graduated with, he told me about it last night, but I forget. Um, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I like that.
True.
All right, I'm pulling up these topics.
True.
Are we still waiting for y'all? Or are we just starting?
Um, low key. I mean, I guess. I mean, I've texted y'all. I mean, I can send them one more text. Otherwise, we can just start.
Yeah, that's what
Is it?
it's whatever.
You said what?
Oh, I said it's whatever.
Oh, yeah, nah. I won't take up too much of your work time, you know.
Yeah. I'll give him a couple minutes, like 5 minutes, and then we can just dive in. So, what did everybody get their mom for Mother's Day?
Would you get yours?
I'll start. I got my mom a pedicure treatment yesterday. So, yeah.
Okay. Very nice. I'm trying to think. I mean, we got her a Barnes and Noble gift card and a journal, and we made her breakfast.
That's nice. I got my mom earrings. I got her earrings, yeah. And then we went out to dinner last night, which is like the first time actually, like really like since it was probably the most crowded place I've seen like since the pandemic started.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was like a crowded restaurant. It was pretty bizarre because I've probably been to a restaurant like 3 times in the last year or whatever. So it was bizarre, but it was like one of the first times I would say that like being fully vaxxed, like I felt like I didn't feel scared,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people, want to get back to or desperate to get back. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think like the biggest crowd I've been in since the pandemic started was Black Lives Matter protests. So if I didn't get
Oh,
kicked
same.
out
Actually, same. I lied because that was like thousands and thousands of people.
yeah.
So never mind. That was the biggest one.
Yeah, and that's honestly, I mean, it sounds bad, but that was like early on. I low key thought COVID was like fake. Not fake,
Mm.
but
I wasn't as concerned about it. Like I was still in the
yeah.
midst of it, like working until I got it in January. So it was like,
Oh yeah.
Mm.
yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Because my friend CJ had it and he was like right next to me and everything. I mean, we had masks on, but still, like he was like right next to me. And
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah, I got like I don't know. I got exposed to like that like right when like the day before someone got symptoms. I
Hmm.
was sitting right next to them. We were outside, but like we were sitting like not 6 feet apart. And me and none of my friends got it. It was like four of us, but I mean, like I go to a big school, so like I've probably been exposed multiple times now.
Hmm.
Never got it. Well, I honestly think I did. I just didn't have symptoms. Like, I don't know.
That's what my brother said too.
Yeah.
My phone case just fucking broke.
No.
That was me a couple weeks ago.
Damn, bro. The OtterBox not supposed to be doing this.
Right.
Oh no.
False advertisement.
Chill.
Okay, we can start. What's
All right.
up?
Are you recording? Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah, I've been recording for like past 2 minutes.
The what? You said past 10 minutes or 2 minutes?
10, I think 10, yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I wasn't even
You're good, you're good.
hip.
What's good? It's your boy Sam, also known as Sam disuss.
Yo, Zino Lion. And we're here with a special guest.
I was like, am I supposed to introduce myself? I'm Caroline.
Hi.
Hello.
This is the Creators Club podcast. How's everybody's week going? Not Brad Blakey.
We both had the same reaction, which was
like,
no words,
yeah,
but noises.
me.
Yeah.
I feel that.
We're all coming to you in the middle of finals week.
Yes, finals.
Yeah.
Not wanting to study, being over it. I was meeting with my professor the other day, just like review for like my final or whatever. And he like asked me like what's the consensus of the class, how's everyone feel about the class, and I was like I mean people or like or how they feel about or how they feel about the teaching. I'm saying like I mean yeah people I mean they like you they think you're a good teacher or whatever. It's just people are tired or the semester. And I was like yeah because I'm tired. It's like we haven't had a break. We didn't get a break like at all.
Yeah.
I just
Dang, it
came
was
home for the weekend, so
Mhm.
You
just
didn't have like a fall break or anything?
we had a fall break, but originally we weren't supposed to have one, and it wasn't really a break because we had still had classes. We were just confined to our rooms because they were trying to keep the numbers down. So,
Mm.
but yeah, people were tired. Going from February to like May, no break. Like
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The semester just seemed it seems so long. I don't know why. It seemed like it's been going on
it's
forever.
fast, but yeah, I feel what you mean, and it's crazy to me because I feel like I didn't start the semester being stressed. Like I just feel like it's more meant being mentally tired than it is being
Mhm.
stressed about stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I was gonna say, yeah, we normally like we never have like a fall break, which is a lot draws a lot of criticism from everyone that goes here. We don't have a fall break. Um, but like we had our spring break. Um, but it's still I would say like as far as like semesters, I think like for me, this semester has been harder just because like it's that pandemic fatigue, you
Mm-hmm.
know? It's like this is like 2.5 semesters. Yeah, it's been 2.5 semesters like in the pandemic. So like I feel like that's why like this semester also like maybe classes, but like this semester like it's just like getting old doing online work, you know?
And it's the lack of
Yeah.
motivation. How do you guys feel like the hyperflex? Because like were your teachers like forcing you to? Was it mandatory for you guys to come to class on like the days that you're supposed to come, or you guys are just all on Zoom?
I would say for me, I had some classes that met like synchronously on time and then some that didn't. But I think like I talk about like with my roommates or my friends all the time. It's hard cuz like during these semesters, time management is like one thing, but like having to like have a whole week of work and like just looking at it and be like I have to manage all of this and I have to like find the perfect like combination of like making my own hours to do this work is
Right.
like crazy. It's like so crazy cuz like you are in charge of deciding like if you're going to be working, like if you're waking up early to still do work or like if you're
Mm-hmm.
just like sleeping more and staying up, like which is nice. Like I think some people like really thrive under that, but like some people just like need structure to like I think
Yeah,
get them going.
I feel
Yeah.
you definitely.
Hmm.
I
How do
def
you
I
guys
de-
feel? Yeah.
I definitely feel that because with even with the finding balance, I had certain classes that I needed more time in, and then accounting, statistics were hard classes that are challenging me, and I kind of trying to focus on those classes and like my other ones, like one class kind of fell behind, so I was literally catching up like on assignments literally last week, just from that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's crazy, but I also feel like certain teachers are like, oh well, it's mandatory. You come to in class. So I'm just like, what is the difference? I don't feel like I'm learning as much in general. Like a lot of people were feeling like they're teaching themselves. So it's just like I don't think there's I think everybody's tired, even the teachers as well, because they're trying to navigate it. But at the same time, I feel like there still needs to be like a bit of grace because at the end of the day,
Definitely.
if I'm coming on Zoom, what does it matter? Like I'm still present. I'm still at
Mm-hmm.
class. Like it shouldn't matter if I'm for some participation grade or like I'm still here. Like
Because you had classes in person, right?
yeah,
Like some.
both. Some
Oh,
one day in person, what and then but half of the class was like online. Like some people I guess were not on campus or like I know from my accounting class people stopped showing up. They just felt like nah, they weren't learning. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it sounds bad or whatever. Not bad, but like I feel like during this whole pandemic thing, like this is still a pandemic. Like we're trying to dodge a deadly disease, and we most of us still
yeah,
have work or other responsibilities, stuff like that. So I think the professors definitely could be more chill. I have some who are really cool, like
yeah.
flexible, but others are like, oh yeah, we need this due on this time, this
Turn your
date.
turn your turn your camera on or you don't get a grade. And I'm just like
Mm-hmm.
and the thing that's crazy, the first month, nobody cared if you had your camera on or not. Then all of a sudden, like the next month or the middle of the semester, oh, turn your camera on off, or you won't be graded. You be marked as absent. So I'm just sitting here like the fuck, like
Yeah, it's
why do you care
the
to
thing
have
about the thing about Zoom is like I started thinking about this because I was like, why do I like care so much about my camera being on? But then it's like when you're in a class, like you can't see everyone at all times. But when you're on
exactly?
Zoom, you can see everyone at all times.
I
And
do
then
not. Yeah,
especially yeah, especially like with recording, like like a lot of my classes get recorded, and then like you have to think like, oh god, like I'm about to be I'm gonna have to watch myself back. Like,
Mm.
whew, it's rough. Zoom class is rough. Like that's my opinion. Camera on Zoom
I
classes.
didn't realize
It's not my
you.
cup of tea.
I didn't realize you like when you watch it back, you see the people.
Yeah, I think like
I haven't seen mine, but
I never watched the classes back to be honest with you.
oh,
So
okay, okay. I think like
I,
they can choose maybe like they can like choose how it shows up.
yeah.
Hmm.
But for me, for like okay, for like statistics or whatever, we will have to like follow what my professor is doing and like be work in Excel. I cannot like try to follow what he's doing on the board and like write and type in Excel at the same exact time. Like it's too complicated. So I have to like go back and watch the lecture or whatever and like work out the problems and stuff. And it's just like even like focusing like on Zoom, it's just like it's too many distractions. It's
Hmm.
yeah.
That's exactly how like what I was thinking. I think like that has helped me in one way because like when you're going to normal lecture, it's like not getting recorded and they're like just posting the slides, which is sometimes not like enough, especially like if like a professor like tests on like stuff that they say too, to make sure there are people coming to class. So like that's one thing. I'm in this like coding class that is like I can't I can't multitask. Like I have to pay attention and like try to absorb it and then go back and watch the lecture.
yeah,
So that's kind of nice cuz like I kind of like doing it on my own time, but it's definitely like adding to the time I have to do class, cuz I can't like I can't necessarily talk to my professor like in that moment. It's just different. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like Zoom will never be equivalent to in-person work, like no matter what. I don't think.
No, I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's been rough, but I don't know. I mean, I think traditional college, like you have that experience, like you go to class, and then when you're not in class, of course, you have to do things, but it's just different. Like when you're sitting on your phone or a computer, like most of the day, and then you want to use your computer like for leisure time or whatever, like you want to watch Netflix or whatever, and then you still have those assignments and Zoom class and everything. It's just it overlaps. I think it's a little
yeah,
crazy.
Mhm. But for real, shout out to the teachers that do, because there are teachers that handle things right and like put in
yeah,
the extra effort to like I have this one professor that like I don't know, he's just like willing to meet with you whenever he records class. Like there's teachers that are like willing to put in the effort to like try to make class seem as in person as possible. I have good professors at the school I go to, so yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Agreed. Definitely has some great professors this semester.
Um,
So I know we had like a lot of music drops this week. Um, what was everybody listening to?
So um y'all should take like I know there was drops. I would say like the last two Fridays have been big drop days. Would you guys say that?
Yeah,
Like I
think
think
so.
I feel like a lot dropped. I like this past Friday. I don't really know much about what dropped, but I definitely have I think a handful of picks from the Friday before. But what do you guys like from this past Friday? Like most
So
recent.
I definitely like a Cyrus Rashad single that just dropped from TDE. I'm trying to think
Okay,
what
okay.
else. What else dropped?
J.
J.
Cole
Cole.
Friday.
J. Cole dropped J. Cole's Friday as well. Finally, we missed him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those two drops. What about you, Zan?
Yeah, no, I definitely paid attention to those two a lot. Willow Smith had something. I forgot. I don't think
Willow
it dropped
Smith,
this Friday.
Willow Smith. It was a couple weeks ago. That's a good
Yeah.
song. That's a good song with Travis Barker. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
like
Yeah.
the
agree.
I was
like
sad.
the grunge like 2000s punk. Like that was cool.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I could talk I could talk about Willow like all day. I wouldn't say I'm a big Willow fan, but like I like Willow a lot and I've liked her since for a while. So like that's definitely in my picks is what is it? It's like transparency. What's it called?
Yeah,
With Travis
transparency.
Barker. Yeah.
Yeah,
That I mean like that's a whole nother conversation I feel like because like her like doing that like punk I guess like pop punk or
Hmm.
like rock kind
yeah,
of was like such a cool move, you know.
yeah.
Um I really dig it, but then um I would say in the past 2 weeks I like Baby Keem and Travis
Hey,
Scott.
yes. Durag is a good song. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
I got put on to Keem recently and I like have not it's been like my thing for the past couple weeks.
I need it. Also Don Toliver. There's a new drop.
Oh
I need.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, love Don Toliver.
I feel like Don Toliver, like I like wasn't really hip to like the beginning of like his popularity or whatever. But
Right.
I feel like he kind of came out of nowhere.
He did. He
People
did.
were just like, yeah, yeah. People were just like shocked. They were like, who is this?
I was
Um
like, I get his sound. It's just like it kind of like mirrors Travis Scott. Like I feel like definitely I can see.
yeah, that's interesting. Like that I feel like a lot of artists like remind me of other artists and it makes me think like is this why I like them?
Right.
That's how I feel about Keem cuz like Baby Keem um he just I like I know he's cousins with Kendrick Lamar but
Right.
like there's just something about his sound that reminds me of other people I like and I can't put
Hmm.
my finger on it but yeah I like the new Don Toliver too.
Yeah. No, it's
Um, I listened to a couple songs off the new DJ Khaled album. They're okay. Weren't bad.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I skipped to the Nas and J. Cole song, and I wasn't
That
like
was a good.
super impressed. So
Yeah,
you
I
liked
wasn't.
it?
It was okay. Okay, so the song I felt like that was overhyped was "Paper Bag" with Cardi B.
Was that with
I,
Cardi?
yes, I people were overhyping this song. We were talking about this I think on live like last week. Me and I forget. I think it was y'all. But like I just felt like it was overhyped. The bars people were like, "Oh, this is the best. She really killed it." I'm just like, no. I like I'll give her props for writing it, but like no, it's not. It's not some seller.
Are you
I don't think.
talking about are we talking about Cardi?
Yeah,
Mhm.
she
You're
she had a
talking about okay.
she had a feature on DJ Khaled's album.
Oh yeah, I so no, I have some thoughts about this album. Like I
People were
haven't listened.
joking.
Well, okay, I didn't like listen. I didn't listen to it, but like I think like on one of his songs came up on like my Discover Weekly, I think,
Hmm.
and like I think when you have these albums that have a ton of people on them or like multiple people on them, they're either like really good or they just like are kind
They
of
suck.
flops. And like that's
Mhm.
dependent on like who like drops or whatever, but like
Mhm.
Dreamville and like Slime Language are both like so good.
Yes,
But then
that's
like stuff with like DJ, I don't know, not my cup of tea.
and it's
Honestly,
crazy.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked that he hasn't made music yet. Like his
Oh,
voice, like he's a
uh,
music artist. Like it's weird to
Mhm.
me. Like I know he's a
I
obviously a
think
DJ, but I
I
know.
think in producers, I feel like what he
Yeah.
would. I feel like you just not. That's not what he wants to do. I feel like he's. I do think he's good, like curating and bringing artists together sonically. Like his last two albums before that, like Grateful, The Keys, like those were good albums. Like
Mhm.
we had the bangers, Wild Thoughts. What I
Oh yeah, right.
and then whatever. What
The Drake
I'm
song.
I'm the one. Like all those other ones.
Mhm. For Free was the Drake song.
For free was a good album, a same song.
Hmm.
I mean, some of the singles off the new one, they're okay, but people are also are like saying like they felt like it was rushed, and I kind of agree as well. It was like, let me just put this together album together,
Yeah. I don't know. Some people like really succeed at that, but then some people,
You can
I guess,
tell.
don't.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like as far as rushing music.
Hmm.
And then like I think that goes deeper though because it's like that's not always their decision. Like they have if you have like strict management and stuff,
yeah, and
that
labels.
could be like it could be the label trying to rush something. Yeah.
I feel like I have a problem with like getting bored, I guess, when I get too much of something. Like that's movies, music,
Yeah,
people. That's like everything. Like, I don't know. If I'm getting like a DJ Khaled or whatever, like if I'm getting Migos like every month, I'm just even if I was a Migos fan, I'm just not gonna like it. I don't want to
yeah.
hear it,
I feel like
the same.
artists like Future, Young Boy, like they would be dropping repeatedly within like 6 months or like. And I'm just like, it's a lot. It's a lot of music. Like you can slow
Yeah.
down. Like I understand you love the process of creating music, but you don't got to drop that much music.
Right. You can do singles still. Like,
Yeah, singles. Let people take a chance to marinate on the music. Like give the album a time.
Yeah, that's true. But then on the other hand, like on a switching genres, but people like Taylor Swift, she dropped. I
mm,
mean, like we have to talk about the fact she dropped like 3 album. Did she drop three
Two or
albums?
three, two, yeah.
2 or 3 in the matter of months, and like she has such a fan base that it expects it. I
Even
myself am
Ari,
not a
yeah.
Taylor fan. I'm sorry,
I'm not a huge
but
Taylor fan.
yeah, no, I can get behind Ariana Grande. I can get behind
Looks like
Ariana Grande,
Ari.
except I have not the greatest opinion of her last album. Anyways,
Yeah, I feel
I
you.
think like people like Taylor Swift, like she thrives off that kind of schedule though. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
people are invested and they keep coming. I mean, like I don't really know how those albums performed, but they definitely had like a lot of publicity every
Number
single
one.
drop she's
A lot
had
of number one, a lot of
past couple.
Grammys, a lot of
I
awards.
think to
Yeah.
me, just I think it comes off sometimes as like you're not desperate, but like you're really trying hard to stay relevant. Like we have people like Cole and Kendrick, and you see what Cole does to the internet every time he chooses to
Yeah,
drop
every
something,
time.
and it's like
That's
you don't have to
true.
rush.
Yeah.
You
Didn't
you
he
move
like
from
didn't he like break the internet? I saw on Twitter. Didn't like his single release or whatever, or maybe it was his album announcement. Like
Probably
he
so.
like broke some site. Yeah.
probably. I mean, I remember seeing like my whole Instagram feed, like everybody's story was the Cole book, so
Yeah.
including mine. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like people, I mean, obviously this is circumstantial, but like with Frank Ocean, he hasn't dropped
Mhm.
since um I think it was Dear April and Cayendo. But like he hasn't dropped an album since Blonde,
Right.
obviously. And like people are mad. Obviously now the death of his brother was like super
Yeah.
tragic and that like changed everything, but it's weird cuz like his fans are mad, but I think people who are his fans are so attached to his music that they'll always be fans and it like barely matters about the timeline.
Right.
Like,
Right. I think some things I was watching, I can't remember what it was. It was a YouTube series and it was talking about how some people will over release music and end up kind of ruining their legacy. And they were using, I mean, I don't like totally agree, but they were using Kanye as an example. Like they said if he would have retired after like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, he'd be considered like pretty much like a goat, like a top five person. But then he came with stuff that people didn't like. Um, what was it called? Oh, Life of Pablo. I like that
Left of Pablo.
album.
It's a good album.
Yeah, I like it, but I know
Conviction
it got
Life.
like a lot of heat Kids See Ghost was
Mhm.
cool as well. I know that also got heat. The gospel album got heat.
Very
So it's kind of like,
experimental. Yeah,
yeah.
the parallels.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
then that's like that also goes towards another point, which is like when people have genre switches, like
Mhm.
when people change their sound, it can either be really successful or really not successful.
Right.
But the same when you were talking about like albums that fell off or whatever, that's like, dare I say, Cuddy's album. I love Cuddy. I love Kid Cudi so much. Like I know we'll talk about like top artists and stuff, but he like in between his Man on the Moon releases, like I think he had one or two that just were not the same, because every single like Man on the Moon release was like a huge deal. And then like his albums between that weren't great, but then once again, Kids See when he did Kids See Ghost with Kanye, and who else
Mhm.
is on that album? There's another
Kids
person,
See
right?
Ghost was Kanye and Cudi.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Mhm.
When he
Yeah,
did that, it was like everyone. I maybe it like served the same purpose for both their careers then, because
Mhm.
like everyone was back on Cudi after Kids See Ghost.
Yeah, I remember whatever year that was where Childish Gambino put out the Funk album, which I like a lot, and it's gotten better with age. And people were so mad that it wasn't a rap album, even though he put out three singles before that were not rap at all. And people were still surprised and angry that it wasn't a rap album. And it's like,
you mean
I
"Waking
mean,
My
artists,
Love"?
bro. Huh?
You talking about "Waking My Love"?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. He had he put out Redbone, which is of course
Redbone.
a timeless
Yep.
classic. He put out Redbone. I think he put out like Me and Your Mama and
Yeah,
another one. There was three songs that were not rap at all. And when the album came out, people were like, "Oh, this is trash. He's not rapping." Blah blah
that
blah.
was a classic album. So
Exactly.
right.
But I mean, we hate genres and labels and everything over
Right.
here.
Mm-hmm. Because I know, like with your guys' label, you say you don't really try to stay genre specific, really. Like you're just
Yeah.
really looking for people's, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that's
Definitely.
successful because it's like the sound that, like, well, a people should make music that they personally resonate, like that they enjoy making, but
Mhm.
like b also like the sounds that people like every year are going to change. Like there's genres that are in or out, and like
Mhm.
it's kind of, if you're not changing to make music that people like, then like what are you doing, but I
Right.
mean, like on one hand, it's like, on one hand, like I said, it's like make music that you like yourself, that like feels true to yourself, but then like
Right.
sometimes change is necessary, like to stay alive, like.
I think it's also like kind of what you want out of it, or like a niche. Because I mean, you have people like Pusha T or like Black Thought or somebody who's like they're not mainstream. They're not gonna go to like Australia and have like everybody singing their songs. But to like hardcore rap fans who like that type of rap, they're like gods basically. And then you have people who, I mean, R&B is making a strong comeback, which is great.
Definitely.
And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, like Caroline said though, like you have like whatever R&B is kind of in now. I remember when it was like
Yeah.
not cool a few years ago.
Yeah,
There
and
wasn't. There
like
was
the
a lot of male.
R&B
Yeah.
Yeah.
the R&B now is like definitely is very different from old R&B, of course. So
Hmm.
like, yeah.
It's definitely more experimental.
Yeah, there's a lot of different like trap beats or
Some
just
like
language and
melodic and
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, and content wise, I think is the biggest change, of course, which is
Yeah.
yeah.
True.
I mean, I think music in general, because of how easy it is for people to make good music on their own, like without a label or without a expensive studio, it's gotten more like honest and raw. Like people can really say, what they want to say. You don't have to go and feel like, oh, I have to be the new Usher or Chris Brown on the label or the studio, whatever.
Mhm.
You just make what you want.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like it sounds like getting your music on Spotify has, from the people I know, become like pretty easy, which is cool.
Oh yeah, yep. Everything's becoming
Definitely.
easier,
Yeah.
which is great. I mean, it's good and bad. Like obviously, it means it's more like whack stuff on there, and it's like
Yeah.
your competition is. If you tell someone you make music or I rap or whatever, like
Right.
they're not gonna want to hear it if they're not your friend. Unless it's good. If
Mm.
you play like I don't know a few seconds and it's good, they're like, oh, it was great. but everybody raps basically. I know
Literally.
50 dudes who, so
Literally.
it's like,
Everybody raps.
yeah,
Mhm.
I don't want to hear it. Nobody at the party wants to hear it. The girl don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it, bro.
Yeah.
Let me see. We had the 5-year anniversary of Views. When was
Yeah.
that? That was last.
That was last week, I believe. Hold on, just let me see.
Do you guys like Views?
When it first came out, I was not the biggest fan of it. I like the singles, like I like Controller. Um, let's see what else. What's other singles, you know? My I'm trying to think. Where's the dance? The little dance or the little meme? Like I forget.
Was it Hotline Bling or One
How
Dance?
like Wing, One Dance. Yeah. Basically the
Mhm.
singles, and then like over the years it's grown on me some more. Feel No Ways.
Mhm.
Child's Play. Yeah. Too
Mhm.
Good. Like
Yeah.
it was really slept on, but I needed, I guess, it like over the years, you listen to a body of work somewhere, and it tends to grow on you.
Absolutely. I think like Drake is just one of those people that will, like, if you liked, well, he changed the game or whatever, but like Drake just finds his way into, like, personally all my playlists. I mean, like, he's in my top 10, I would say already, but like with Views, I was listening. It's weird because, like, I'm almost the opposite. Like, that, the songs from Views, like Child's Play, Controlla, probably those two mainly, were like, or and Too Good, of course, were like huge for me, and like as soon as it came out. So when I was like 17, but like not so much now, but like Child's Play and Control are timeless. I mean, Child's Play is like probably my top 10 Drake songs. So,
It's
but
definitely
yeah,
up there
I
for me.
wouldn't say, yeah. I remember we've talked about that, but I don't know, like, how do you guys think like Views compares to his other albums? That's the question.
This for me, I mean, I feel like I don't know if it's like a weird take, but one, I think that's the album that really made Drake like a real superstar. I don't
Hmm.
I'm
You
not a
feel that?
huge fan of Views. I mean, I like Child's Play, I like Controller.
Yeah. It
Um
wasn't in my favorite like top Drake album. Like
Hmm.
I think that okay, so like the switch for me, I really like I mean, music doesn't have to be super relatable, but I really enjoyed Drake. Like my favorite album was Take Care. And so hearing about, like relationships and stuff like that. And cuz it came out like what 2000 like 12 something.
11.
Like I was like
Yeah.
yeah, I was like 12. So obviously I didn't get it, but it sounded good. And then you grow up and you're still listening to these songs and you're like, "Wow, like okay, like some of the stuff is kind of
You're
making
finally like
sense."
going through some of that stuff like as you get older.
Yeah. And you're like, wow, like this is amazing. And then you get to Views. and kind of post views. I mean, Drake on his albums will still have songs like that, but I feel like a lot of his career since then has been more like kind of generic, like just rapping about like the money or the women, the fame. It's like, you know, I can't really relate to that, but
Right.
you know, I mean, it sounds good, but it's just kind of boring to me personally. So take care
Yeah,
of my favorite album.
you would say Take Care.
Mm, definitely.
Hmm. I think
Take-
for me, I just like it's so. I think I'm the type of Drake fan like I love Drake, but like I know people who are legit Drake fans, and I don't know if I can't say like I'm a loyal Drake fan because my style with him more so is sampling. Like I have like favorite tracks of him from every album. However, lately I've been really into Nothing Was the Same. And
That was a
like
good album. Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's just that old Drake. I think like old Drake albums like just hit different for a lot of people. Like going
Mhm.
back to what Zion was saying, like both those albums are like so heavy, like when you really start listening to them. So like yeah, Nothing Was the Same is like that's like the one for me
Mhm.
that resonates.
Yeah. I like if you're reading this, it's too late a lot too. That's probably
That's
my
another
number two.
one. Yeah.
That was hard. The first like 5, 6 songs are like all just crazy. See.
I remember hearing back to back and like energy, like
Yeah.
those are it's crazy.
I'm
He
looking up
dropped
the
like a lot, yeah.
He did.
I'm looking up yeah. So the beginning of if you're reading this is Legend, Energy, 10 Bands, Know Yourself, No Telling, Madonna, Six God, and Start 67 are all like
Yeah.
crazy to me. Like they're all unskippable. Then it gets slow, but it's still good. I mean, slow Drake is fine. It's nice.
And that's the thing. He's able to like the through the albums, the playlist, like so
Yep, he
many
definitely helped with the genre bending movement that we're all in. But
definitely.
he owes the island of Jamaica some money for
He do.
views.
He do. The patois,
Pop was all over
like
it. Yeah. I mean, I liked it when it came out like high school as a
yeah.
25% Jamaican dude. It was pretty cool, but now it's kind of like wow, it's kind of
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy, but you know,
Yeah,
it'll
I think like um class of 2016, 2017, as far as high school um are like graced with the fact that like when they were seniors in high school were just like some of the greatest drops.
Definitely.
2016 was just an insane year for music. Like
It was.
I would say, I mean, like this is uh, not to like derail the conversation, but like with Starboy, not my not in my top the weekend albums, but
It's wild.
that
I thought it
was
was
like a
actually
game changer.
2016. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
yeah.
game changer. Like and views in the same year, like it's crazy.
For me, 2017, we had the Kendrick album
Yep.
and we had Joey Badass, which was
SZA.
actually like kind of fire when it came
Yeah.
out. You said SZA?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
summer was just unmatched.
Yeah,
2017 had a lot of good music.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mhm. 2020
that
was
is
pretty good.
crazy.
2020 was good.
That's what I
2020
was
was
gonna
solid.
say. Yeah,
We
yeah.
was we was we was definitely content in quarantine. Soundtrack to
Yeah,
yeah,
2020 was cool.
I think like this pandemic is gonna grace us with some amazing music. Cause
definitely
like
for outside.
Hmm.
I don't know, like I don't want to say that there was a dry spell, but I feel like 2016 and 2017 were just so good for drops, especially rap. Um, I mean, like my roommate has like a 2016 rap playlist, but uh, then like I just feel like for like 2018, 2019,
Yeah.
kind of not, it wasn't the same, but that's also because the people who dropped in 2016, 17 like didn't drop in 18 and 19.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then like what were you guys listening to during the pandemic?
Oh, definitely. Kalani's if it was good until it wasn't. Kiana Lede,
Mm.
some Brent Faze, yeah,
Mm.
Janae Haiku.
Yeah, that's when Keanu Lede. That's when I like discovered old Brent Fires besides the last thing, and of course the weekend. I listened to that a lot. The After Hours album.
Yeah, After Hours was definitely replayed.
Yeah.
I can't believe people
I
don't like
think
it.
It's crazy. It's been a year.
um I think like yeah, I can't even like I've read articles about like Abel saying that like some people delayed their drops when the pandemic started, but he dropped After Hours like right as shit hit the fan, and
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was just perfect. It was so perfect. I mean, I think it's one of the greatest, easily like my top album of 2020 personally.
Oh,
That
same.
and Brent, it just was the mood. Like like him and Brent were just like, I don't know. It was just the mood of the pandemic. It fit perfectly.
Yeah.
definitely, definitely.
Me and Caroline talk a lot about the weekend. That's
Yeah,
like both of our favorite
hey, I love it.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm just, yeah, you can't even get me started because I'm like super EXO. So,
Nah, but I love hearing about your like your taste for music because it's so on the point.
yeah.
thanks. Yeah, like, truthfully, like, I think a lot of it is like makes sense. Like, like Drake, Weekend, Brent makes sense together. That fits the equation. Then of course though, like I do like those classic, like I love Ariana. Like I was never a Taylor fan, but like I mean like I just like I like that classic girl pop. Like it's just so good. Like
Mhm.
but like I mean there's songs though like as far as the weekend, like I've just never experienced his emotions are just so perfectly written on. Like I mean, like the bonus tracks from After Hours, even like,
Mhm.
or just the craziest like final lullaby and like the just the plot line, like everything he did with cinematography, like it just made you feel things that's like not a rare experience in music, but as far as like what I look for in music, I feel like it hit different for so many people. Like yeah, because he just expressed like these like super dark feelings, but like not always like with upbeat songs, stuff like that. Unmatched
Yeah.
album.
The funniest thing is, I think it's like he finally released. I mean, because he can change himself up a lot too. I don't want to say this will like be his best album, but I think this is kind of like I'm trying to think of how to say. It's basically like I feel like his masterpiece. Like I feel like it's kind of low key similar to Trilogy, except it's a little more pop, just so everyone can digest it, and it's not just hardcore
Yeah.
R&B people.
I mean, it also showed his growth too, because like, I mean, Trilogy is like probably my second favorite album from him, if not, I don't know. That and After Hours are like pretty on par for me. But like it definitely showed his growth as a musician because Trilogy is like beautiful and dark too, but like it's pretty like I mean it's heavy with like sex and drugs and stuff and addiction, but then he talks about addiction in like a whole new way in After Hours. He also talks about women in a whole different way. compared to Trilogy. Like he's no
Oh,
like Trilogy was toxic, like we can say. Like and yeah, I mean, yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't even when I became a fan, I think it was 2013 because the last album out was Kissland, but he was like, oh no, it wasn't 2013. It was like 14, 15 because the last album was Kissland, but he was like about to drop Beauty Behind the Madness. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely, I mean, I don't know. I think Toxic is like it's overused now, but it definitely was like that. Those albums like are toxic.
Classic, definitely.
But I feel like they're real, you know, like we say toxic, but it's like, you know, that's real. And the
It
people
was
back in the
real,
day were
yeah.
doing the same thing. They just weren't singing about it, I guess.
That's true. That's true. Like it was definitely like real, like in a way that you could I don't know if it's sympathize or empathize. I get this mixed up, but like his like he was clearly suffering. Like he
Mhm.
was deep, dark suffering, and that's like I don't feel as like bitter about like the stuff he was saying because like he was like going through it and like yeah.
Right.
I feel like that honesty is needed when like artists can just like be vulnerable and just put all their emotions in the songs. You can like feel it
Mhm.
more.
I think nowadays
Yeah.
we'd be able to tell if it was fake because you know if his next album like he came out and he was singing like this the like 90s and 80s R&B like love ballads and stuff, we'd
Right,
be like, not him, like we know that's not even
right.
Yeah, clearly like yeah, he was clearly like feeling it and like obviously it worked out for him because Trilogy like was unmatched.
Mhm.
I wish I lived through when that album was popular, you know. That's like I was a child.
Yeah, no, same though. I mean, yeah, yeah. I think music is definitely best when people are really talking about what they're going through, what they feel, and everything. We hear about a lot about what they say, cap rappers making up stories about their upbringing and what they do. But I think that's
Mm.
a lot of genres, really. I mean, I don't know.
You were talking about how like with Drake, his music just doesn't hit the same with you because now he flexes so much in his music. Which like you made that point to me once and like I see it now and yeah.
I mean, like it definitely has a place. Like that's cool. Like, you know, if I'm driving like in the car or at a party, like yeah, we want to hear about luxury brands and your cars and how
Yeah,
you're on the private jet and your millions. But it's like when I'm at home, I can't sit through like 20 songs of that. Like I need to hear, you know, real stuff, I guess.
Hmm.
Which I think the next album should be considering what we just saw of him breaking up an 8 year, what is it called? Oh, engagement.
engagement. Oh yeah, that certified lover boy. You see, this, you know,
Baby
some city
boy
boy
summer was starting
talk shit. Yep,
early.
that's what we gonna call it, certified lover boy summer. You know,
Yeah, bro. I think he's gonna wait now because of J. Cole, but it should still be out this year, hopefully. Because Cole's coming what this month, right? May.
In like a
I
week, I
know.
believe.
I yeah, Cole drops this Friday, which
Oh
is
yeah.
amazing. Be done the finals. You can sit down, listen to it the whole weekend. That's such a perfect way to end.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Like
this Friday,
I
you said?
yeah,
This Friday?
and then he's dropping the documentary tomorrow. So
yeah.
gang
So
gang.
we're in
Are you
May.
guys big
Oh,
are
sorry,
you
go ahead.
big Cole fans? No, I was just gonna say are you big J. Cole fans?
Mm.
Like
Definitely.
yeah.
J. Cole's my favorite rapper right now.
Okay.
Mhm.
See, I would say Kendrick, but I love J Cole as well. So I feel like
Mhm.
they're both in my top.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
like have admittedly I have two albums that I should like a lot and
Mhm.
that like were so popular, but I just like I've listened to 2014 Forest Hill Drive so many times, and
You
of
don't like
course, like this, no, that's I do like it, but
Yeah.
it's like people love that album, and I just like I can love the storyline and like the music he was writing for it, like about growing up and stuff, like great
Right.
storyline, but it just doesn't hit the same. And then also this is I know this these are terrible takes, I know, like these get people mad,
Nah, go
but
for
that
it. Go
album
for it.
that album and Control by SZA, like it took me a while to like Control by SZA. Now I would say like there's certain songs from Control that are like some of my favorite songs of all time, but then
Mhm.
the rest I don't like that much at all.
I
But
definitely
then some
my
people
bad.
like love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely remember when Control came out and people were like the guys were dissecting the hell out of the Weekend and be like, oh, she got her my manager, and I was like, y'all not getting it. Like, yeah. That
yeah.
was funny times.
Yeah, no, I like yeah, I like hearing wait. So you like 2014 for Zilla Jobs?
Well, no, you said to me, you were like, oh, so you don't like it? And I was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't like it, but I'm saying people adore that album and I
Right.
just don't adore it. Like, truthfully, I don't adore it.
I see you.
And
I
the
get you.
same thing with Control, but like, I would venture to say I like Control a lot more than I like that J. Cole album. But
Mhm.
Okay.
both of those I don't like as much as people love.
Like, yeah.
That's
I mean, I
understood.
think that's the best cool album. Like, I mean, that's my favorite. Um, For Your Eyes Only was the next one. I felt like I didn't really like it that much, but low key, like
I have
he
to go back and
made
listen to it. Yeah.
yeah, like the documentary he had, like he made it for his friend's daughter who her his friend died and he made it for his friend's daughter and it's just about life basically. So I mean, I wasn't expecting like for that to be my. I don't think that's anybody's favorite Cole album. That'd be kind of weird, low key, considering it's like a letter to her.
Yeah.
I didn't
And
even know
But
KOD
that.
was
both
just
of
kind of yeah.
um
KOD was cool. It
oh yeah,
was.
KOD, yeah.
I had like three songs I liked on there. I think three or four.
I should
I
have like a
think both
marathon.
oh sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. Go. Go.
I was just gonna say from For Your Eyes Only, I think like in the same way I was talking about Drake, like I will say I think I sample J. Cole songs on my playlists.
Mm.
Like I can't like I appreciate I think he's super talented, but like I would say I just pull a couple songs from each of his album and that's the way that like I'm a fan of him. But I
Mm.
really do like his music. I was gonna say from that's another 2016 album that like it's like I obviously don't think it got the same traction as like views and like other albums, but
Mm.
like he had both of the She's Mine, like She's Mine Part 1 and Part 2, which
Oh
are like
yeah.
big songs of his, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean they're sad boy songs, but like
On For Your Eyes Only.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I liked those songs. I liked Folding Clothes and Neighbors is like a good song. The video for Neighbors is kind of crazy too. Oh. Yo, Sam,
Yeah.
I'm about to give you an edit point because I'm about to use the bathroom really quick.
Yeah. No problem. You good.
My fault, bro. I got people.
No, you fine. But
I'm back.
hey,
Hey.
have you guys been seeing, you know, the stuff that's been happening with Sweetie performances and stuff?
I have. Yo, on Twitter they were saying she's performing at Ocean City.
Oh, dead.
I don't.
She
I
said
don't know.
she went out there for fun or whatever, and then she like donated the money to the one of the guys who was performing out there. Okay, let's dive in. I think Sweetie got some hits. She knows what she's doing when she's sampling, you know, these songs or whatever. But like her stage performance, this has been like 2 or 3 years that this has been going on. I'm not. She said she's still doing artist development.
She
Like,
said she's still doing artist
yeah,
development
like her label has
for
her.
herself.
Yeah, like her label has her in some boot camp for, you know, like for
Jesus
performing
Christ.
on
Artist
breath.
development from quality
But
control.
last year she said she was doing artist development for the year doing artist development, and I'm not understanding it because did you see the Triller performance? Oh no,
The
you haven't.
Triller performance. I actually did not see that.
I have to send it to you.
I just looked it up. I actually haven't seen. I'm not
Oh
hip
my
to any of the
gosh.
drama.
Oh my god. Please watch it. We gotta watch it.
Yeah,
I'm
sweeties.
so scared.
I
The
honestly don't understand.
lip singing is just off. I don't know what she's doing. The dancing, the
Was this back
stage.
No.
red?
Yes, Doja. I mean, Doja can't know how to give a performance, but Doja's like in the ring. Um, Sweetie's on top of this on the other side, up above, and I'm just like, you're not even gonna try to play off the lip singing, like the lip rapping. She's just like sliding around doing weird things. Like I don't know if she's doing a cartwheel. Like I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like I'm just like, did you just show up to get a bag? But something that like that keeps coming up. People are like, she's trying to use her pretty privilege. Like that's all, you know.
Oh, facts.
She thought she could just rely on her pretty privilege, and I'm just like,
100% facts.
yeah,
Because I mean, the thing is, there's other people who could have done that. I mean,
yeah.
Tinashe could have done that. Georgia Smith probably could have done that too. But
Tanashi
like,
talented as hell.
they're good, right?
Production,
Georgia Smith can sing, you know. So I don't know.
exactly. So I don't.
Wait,
I
does
just
Sweetie sing or rap? Loki, I haven't heard any of her music. I'm not
she raps.
Wait,
sure.
so are y'all? Wait, so what's your opinion? Like, what's your opinion on it? I'm like trying to catch up because I'm on Twitter right now.
Uh,
So okay, so
Oh,
she went to this. So she performed on a boardwalk in
mhm.
California, and she had the performance with Cardi B, and they flopped.
She had a performance with Doja
Is that?
Cat at a set
Oh,
for like
not Cardi B, Doja.
yeah for
Best
this
friend. That's the song. That's the song.
for
Yeah,
this
my bad.
this fight no you're good for this fight club thing. I think of different YouTubers, and so she did like
right.
a
Oh
set
God.
during her set. She was off, like her
Oh
performance was
no.
off, her dancing was off, her breath control or whatever. It just looked lazy. Like she just showed up there to get a bag, and like she wasn't like in it,
I
and
see.
She
it just
probably
showed
did,
off.
bro. She definitely did. I mean, it was a
Which
trip
is fine. There's
Uber
nothing wrong with
fight.
that. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just like, what are you doing? Because it's like,
That's true. However, like I'm not gonna say like I don't think she even has that much music out, but like Tap
no,
In and Best Friend are
just
both
one EP.
great songs.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is Best Friend with Doja Cat and Tap In are both great
Like she
songs.
makes
Like
bops.
low
It's
key.
just her live performances. She needs to do better because I've seen how
Yeah.
she relies on her DJ and she just don't be doing nothing. I'm just like, why are
Is
you
she?
even?
Do you know if she signed to
Yeah.
quality control, like with the Migos in them? Because if she is, bro,
She signed to Warner, and I think she might have her own imprint, but she signed to Warner.
Okay, okay. That makes sense.
their artist development is shitty.
Yeah,
But
because people are
But this is
talking about
yeah.
it, like
But
Quavo.
my thing is like, even when you're first getting signed, you should have already have artist development. Like that should be the first thing you're working on. Like I just that's what I feel like. I don't feel like it should like this should be a thing 2 3 years in because she jumped out like on the scene like 2018 or 2019 and like so I'm just like
because I mean, you get signed because you make good
Yeah,
music,
and
right?
there and her team was booking her on stuff. But I don't know if
Yeah.
you ever saw the Hot 97 interview with Ebro like a couple years back when they had her freestyle and they were talking about like it came up in a interview that she gave like recently and she was like showing I guess how she was embarrassed, but they had literally tried to act like the mic wasn't working, so like they didn't want her to set her up for that because like she even rapped for J. Cole. I think she was friends with J.
Jesus.
Cole, and I'm just like,
They
it's
had to
not,
act like
Yeah.
it's
that
not,
it
it's
wasn't working, bro.
yeah, because they didn't want to set her up for that. So I don't know.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, honestly, that just makes me skeptical about how she. I don't really know her origin story. I don't know how she got famous, but it makes me
Freestyle from she ripped
skeptical.
off my not ripped off. Oh, just not ripped off. No, she did a freestyle or like an interpolation of my neck, my back, which is like icy.
Okay,
Posted
okay.
it. But yeah, she's a smart businesswoman. She went to I think UFC, USC or whatever.
Oh, in Florida.
Hmm.
She can rap on the track, but I just I don't not understanding the performances.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Honestly, like I'm looking at her stuff right now, and like I mean, yeah, respect that she seems like a businesswoman, but like I'm kind of surprised that she has these features with like big names. Not even like Doja, but like Janae. Like even if you don't listen or care for like Janae's music herself, Janae has been in the game
Since day
since
one for a
I think
decade.
she was on Take
Yeah.
Care, right? Like she has been like she's an OG. Honestly, same thing with SZA. Like they're on some old stuff. Like I
Yeah,
know
she's
Janae. She
Yeah,
was Janae was on one of like Drake's old albums because they were a thing,
nothing.
weren't
Yeah, she
they?
was on Nothing Was the Same.
Yeah, and now she's dating Big
Sean,
Sean.
love it.
Big Sean, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
and they
great.
came out with that
They're a
one
great couple.
song. Oh,
They have an album.
body language,
They
body
said
language.
I think
What's
they're
their album? It's like Super 80,
2088,
Super 80,
2088.
2088,
I
right?
think they said they're working on a sequel, so I would love to see that. Soon. Love
It's
that.
pretty cool.
That
Yeah,
was a good album.
girlfriend boyfriend duo. I think
Right,
that's unique.
right.
I don't think they've ever had that really, like really.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing with the song. I know we talked about Georgia. Is it Smith? What's her last
Georgia
name?
Smith, yeah.
Georgia Smith. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. She like goes way back too with another Drake situation.
Yep. Yep.
But
It's
like,
always
I'm
great.
not saying okay. I'm not saying like oh they got popular because Drake, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like now she's on that song with Brent and like
Oh
it's
yeah,
all I'm saying is like
Just more
it's
exposure.
not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Sweetie's like not the same artist as these like women that she works with, I would say. Not to diss her game. She
I
has
think she
game, like
knows how to like set up a brand and do her brand, but it's like
mm,
there needs to be more focus on like the development of the music, I guess, or like performances and like
I
how.
think the thing is, it's like, I mean, because the same thing kind of happened with Summer Walker as far as performances, and then
No, but for real,
talk
yeah,
social anxiety. But the thing is, even if you don't have social anxiety, I mean, standing up and performing from
but
thousands.
the difference with Summer
Very,
Walker, she had anxiety, but they also found a way to like get over that. She did like the little virtual performances, or like I think like I watched them like over last year.
Mhm.
She would do like the go on Jimmy Kimmel and just have her band, like her label found out a way like to like make it work. But I don't know with Sweetie, it's just like I feel like it's just like putting her on a stage and shit and booking her for festivals, and I feel like nah, like you still gotta like work on your craft. But I mean, I guess she's doing the work. So I mean, you know,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she'll be around. There's really not a lot of like, I guess, new slash like young female rappers. I mean, you
there's
got
not.
Nicki who's like retired right now. You got Megan
Yeah,
Thee Stallion.
hiatus. Yeah, it's
So
Cardi,
besides Megan,
Megan,
Cardi is pretty good.
Megan, and Doja.
Mhm.
Those three.
Yeah.
But Doja's been killing it. So
yeah. Doja just like she's not like, I wouldn't say like she's the worst as far as like her scandals or whatever, but she's one of those people that like she got into a hot scandal and then her fan base just like forgave her and it like
Yeah.
has been erased. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I wouldn't say she's like, I would say people like Chris Brown are probably worse because like he was in us like,
Mm,
and he like made a full comeback. Honestly, his
yeah.
I like his new album a little bit, but like, yeah,
Somebody they were talking about this, I think, on the Joe Budden podcast, and I think Rory brought this up about Justin Bieber, how like it's interesting how, people use, I guess, like they cling on to like the, they found God and like all this other stuff, and like you're just supposed to forgive them, but for other people, it's just like we're not supposed to give them second chances or whatever. So I totally
yeah,
understand.
interesting.
For me, I mean, I think it depends on. I think it depends a lot on age and like what it was. I mean,
Yeah.
like the Doja Cat thing. I mean, she's young. She still is young, but she's barely older than us. And she was having identity issues. And what she said didn't really. I
That's
mean, it wasn't
true.
really. It didn't really like. It didn't really hurt. Like Chris Brown and Rihanna hitting each other, and Chris Brown
Yeah.
beating her up.
Yeah.
Like that hurts people,
Yeah.
women in general, like that bad.
But
And
I
he
also
was an
feel like,
That's
adult.
true.
but I also feel like with the Justin Bieber thing, he's kind of like repented for that and like kind of like
Which thing?
which thing?
Are you talking about? Are you talking about that old video, like the racist video when he's a kid?
There are several things this man did. So I mean, I guess there's that. There's the peeing in a
Yeah,
bucket. But what was when
peeing.
Rory was like, but Rory was like, I love how they let this kid go, and they what happened to like the best friend that y'all dragged and y'all blamed all this shit on, and I'm like, you know what, that is definitely true, because
The
you
best friend.
little twist, because he was rolling with him. You don't hear nothing about him. It's like,
Little twist. I haven't heard that name in a long
yeah,
time.
this is like during when Bieber was going through his stuff and
I remember a little twist, like
Yeah.
Young Money and stuff,
yeah,
like Young Money, Cash Money.
yeah,
I think people like respect like the story, like what he's like grown through, whatever. But like I would say Bieber keeps being problematic in some ways. Obviously, he's not like beating people up in the same way. Maybe not problematic. He's just a very like he's always been like a very specific taste. Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
just like when he like came out and he was like talking about how he was really mad that his I think it was his Changes album didn't
Mm-hmm.
get nominated for R&B.
And I just like,
And then everyone was like,
it
"Whoa."
wasn't an R&B album. It was a pop album though.
It
Like
was
it had one song with maybe the one with Kalani, but it was not an R&B album.
Exactly. And he
And
was
then
like he was
yeah,
mad about it.
and,
It was
yeah.
like it was weird.
I
I think
will
I,
say
yeah,
Peaches though is a great song.
that's
Oh
my
sorry, I
song.
didn't
Peaches.
mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
Peaches is a good song.
Wait, we had a thing about Justin though. The dreadlocks and like cultural
Yes, I wanted to
appropriation.
talk about this. This is not the first time he's
What
had
is that?
dreads. He had it
Facts.
a couple years ago. They actually look better, but like I don't know what it is. I don't know who's not on his team or who's not telling him that doesn't look right, because it doesn't look good. We're not even talking about culture appropriation. It's just not a good look, because
Yeah, just look
nobody
at
I know would
it.
wear that. Like
Look
nobody would
wise.
wear dreads
It's
like that,
bad. It's bad.
and your hair might fall out. So it looks like Angelica's doll, like from the Rugrats. Like,
I think
Was
I
this
always say
recently?
like,
yeah,
yeah,
Oh, it was. It was like
it's current.
he's
really
wearing them.
recent.
It's
He has them
currently,
on. He has them in right now, like probably as we're speaking. They're in.
No way.
and I'm just like,
Oh wow. I was not
why?
even aware.
Why? It's just I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I like the
obvious
dad trucker has some like the flowy hair. Keep it like that. That's your vibe.
The hair he had in the pop star video, like when he was like doing it
Yes,
for
like right, like it
that
was
was
called. Just leave it like that. Why you gotta
it's
like?
fine. It's fine to be white. Like I don't get it.
He said
Like
it's
you're
fine to be
because
like.
He's a cool white guy. Why can't you just be a cool white guy? Like you don't need to be anything else. You're a cool white guy. He has tats.
um,
He's cool. Like he's cool. I like Justin Bieber, but this is crazy.
yeah,
Like
yeah, that's what like from my perspective, this kind of gets at what I was saying. Like, it rubs me the wrong way that he was like, like why wasn't Changes an R&B album? And then like I don't know. I just like saw. I wish I remember what I saw on Twitter, but I just think man's stays being slightly problematic. Like
Okay, and
I don't
also
know. You go ahead.
a perfect example, like even with his new album Justice, like people were offended when he
Oh
sampled the
yeah,
Martin Luther King little thing, and he was like, well, I was trying to bring awareness to the, and I get what he was trying to do, but like
everybody knows who Martin Luther King
people are like, it didn't fit on the album. It was because the album had nothing to do about
yeah.
justice or anything. It was another love album to Haley. So
is. Shit, oh my
That's
god.
what I'm. That's what I'm saying. I remember. That's one of the things I was thinking of. I'm like, I don't know. It's just rubbing me the wrong way. Like whatever he's like trying to do. You know.
yeah,
I just think he needs to stay in his lane. Like, I just don't know why he like. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he's like all cool, and then he just does something so like out of pocket, and it's
like
like
he means
we were doing all right. Like,
he means well, but he just like keeps coming off like as something less, like real
I
low key
mean,
offensive or something
I
less.
I thought he already went through like the trying to be blackface because like he was like a little kid with like the bowl cut, right? Everyone used to call it the Bieber cut. It was terrible. So christened them with the Bieber cut. Nobody like that wasn't cool. And then he grew up. He cut his hair. He had like a short haircut. He got all those tats. He was like fighting the paparazzi, fighting in the club, throwing
Yeah,
bottles.
yeah.
And then he
Being
had
the
the dreadlocks
buckets.
the first time. He had the dreadlocks the first time.
But it
People
was
called him
but
out.
it wasn't as bad the first. It wasn't even bad. It was good. It was like purpose era. It was fine. I don't know what happened this time around.
I
I'm
think
not
he's
going.
trying
I'm not going to police somebody and tell them, oh, you can't wear dreads. Like that's not.
yeah, like I just don't get like it's just a level of ignorance that I'm shocked that like he like I don't know how he can be surrounded by his crew and like obviously his management and stuff and just like be ignorant. But then again, it like goes to say it's like I feel like when certain people reach this level of fame, like there's just this acceptance. Like I don't know who he's friends with or whatever, but I feel like in Hollywood in general, not obviously, almost like in Hollywood in general, when you get so famous, I feel like there's this level of acceptance around super famous people that
Mhm.
like he is like allowed to be like I feel like he's probably like allowed to be problematic by his circle. Do you know what I'm saying? It's still it's so
Definitely.
it's like this ignorance. Okay, I know exactly what I'm trying to say. Like he's so famous that I think maybe in his brain he knows that he won't be persecuted as much for being ignorant. Like
Yeah.
and like that's the probably the attitude of the people he's surrounded with, which is like really terrible because like he's a like he's has such a following that he's like a role model and like these things should be like criticized, you
Right.
know, like
I think it goes into like, I mean, yes, not just yes men, but like yes men in his circle too. Cause like it's funny, I just wrote like a little thing for my PR class about this situation. And there's other people like in his Instagram comments, like Quavo, who also has
Right.
dreadlocks. And he's like, I mean, basically he was hyping him up. There's a lot of like black celebrities hyping him up. So
Yeah.
I guess,
That's
people
the
see that.
problem.
They're like, oh, it's cool. And I mean, for me, it's like Sam said, I mean, if I see somebody doing in real life, I mean, I'm not gonna start like an argument or blah blah blah. I mean, I feel like it is cultural appropriation, I'm
Yeah.
not a professor. I don't get paid to teach people, and Google's free, so it's kind of like,
It's not my job to educate you. It's common sense. Like it's the same. It's the same as like saying the N word. Like so.
yeah, like you certain things you like you just I mean you
Don't
can't
say.
yeah you can't say those things you can't do. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think like with him, it's just like this level of ignorance that's like accepted
Mhm.
because that it's especially when he like might have people like gassing him up and stuff. I don't
Exactly.
understand. I do not get it because it's like, how can you be tone deaf when you're that famous? But then also, it makes sense that he's tone deaf because he's that famous. So
Mhm.
I'm just trying to think if like he doesn't give a fuck or like he is genuinely misinformed. I would more so say that he just doesn't give a fuck because he knows he can get away with it.
Yeah. I mean for this particular case, because like Sam said, he had them in the past and people literally like got on his neck about it and he like apologized and switched up. And now he's doing it again, like for whatever reason. I'm not sure. So
Yeah.
it's like he knows, or at least somebody told him before, but like you said, he doesn't care. It's like fuck it, whatever. I can wear it. I won't get canceled. People won't stop listening to my music. Especially with the fans him and Selena have when he was like telling them to play the music like while they were asleep
That
and like
yeah,
all
that made no. That was like a money grab to me, and it didn't feel genuine. I remember that
yes.
last year. I'm like,
Wait,
why are
what
you
happened?
like last year when he dropped Yummy, or was it Yummy, or was it
Yep.
I think
It
it
was
was
yummy.
Yummy. He was like
It was
trying to
yummy.
he's going hard, and he's like, oh, everybody stream it while you're sleeping to get them to get to the number one spot. And it's just like
He
it's
was
a
doing
dope.
that
Yeah.
and Selena Gomez were doing that and people were mad because it was bumping out
Who's the
what's
rapper?
his
Who's the rap artist?
Roddy Rich.
It was
Roddy
Roddy Rich. Roddy Rich.
The Box was number
The
one.
box.
The
Oh my
Box was number
gosh.
My song.
So that song, it's just great because like that was like my like the fall of my freshman year. The box was popular. Like what a fantastic song for like the parties.
Yes.
I feel like there's always one around that time. It's like they know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There's
it
always
just
that Shaq West song did that too.
yeah, it just didn't feel genuine. It was like, why are you this? You care more about trying to get a number one? It's never that
Yeah,
deep.
that
Yeah, it
was
was
nasty.
It's never
That was
that
real
deep.
nasty.
It is, and that
Yeah.
it
it
makes you think
was
about it makes you think about like the charts now. It's just like rigged. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like because like I the thing I remember about Yummy was it got nominated at the Grammys and then people
Mhm.
were that was like the comparison that everyone was using. And that's when like I mean like people have known for years that the Grammys were rigged, but like I think this year, obviously with the weekend's stance on it and him coming forward and being like,
Mhm.
doing like saying he wasn't gonna submit again and like that was like a huge steal, of course. Like this year definitely like people got very aware that the Grammys were rigged, even though it's been a problem for many like years in the past. Ever since wasn't it Drake that like went on stage and like said something about it when he won one he like won a Grammy and then he went on stage and he was like, I don't actually think this means
Yes.
anything.
I love that
yeah,
Drake speech.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the truth. Like he said, if people are getting off work or saving up to come see your show and singing along word for word to every song and everybody in your city knows you and you're that guy, I mean, you don't
It's not
need the
needed.
Grammy to be considered. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's hard now that we're on this topic, like it's tough because it's like on one thing or on one hand, like these artists are coming forward and saying like it doesn't matter and it shouldn't matter because like I mean the people who judge it or whatever like who pick it, like
Mhm.
there's reports that it's like not diverse, it's all these rich people, whatever. So like obviously it's a flawed system, but then again like the Grammys are used as this criteria for your fame. Like
Mhm.
that's like a huge, like when you Google it, like it'll say Grammy award winning, whatever. So it's like either the system of the Grammys needs to change, or acting like the Grammys are a big deal needs to change, like one or the other. Because
Yeah.
like right now, like these artists coming forward and saying like, oh, the Grammys are flawed, like isn't enough, because they're still used as like a huge criteria
Mhm.
for someone's worth in the industry. Yeah.
Yeah. I think them making it public going forward, like making the committee public will help with that because yeah, I mean like you said, it's kind of strange, especially for black artists because I mean like, music is art, it's subjective, right? So you can't reward it like a sports team, like a boxing. You win a belt if you knock somebody out, you win basketball, you win baseball, like that you win, but like art is like, you can have certain people, like everybody, I don't know, every hood in America is rapping your song, but because it's not, on a big label exec's desk or whatever, they
Mhm.
can't slide it through the Grammy people and you don't win. I mean, there's a lot of people who win Grammys or don't win Grammys who probably should have.
Definitely.
So you said you said boxing, and that totally just reminded me of like the Logan Paul, Jake Paul drama happening with
Mm,
Mayweather. Are you
Mm,
guys into that?
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I get them confused so much because like I don't actually like follow them or watch them. I don't
I
know. I
mean,
know
they
that the
look the
one
same.
who
Yeah.
just stole Mayweather's hat is not the one fighting him, which is strange. I'm not even sure if
Mhm.
Mayweather himself knew that that brother was not the one he's fighting in a few weeks, but yeah, I don't know. It's
I
just
think that
cash
just like,
grab, fame.
No, but for real though,
yeah.
can we talk about these YouTubers and like how y'all just like thrive off controversy? Like you remember back in the day how YouTube was actually interesting. Like it wasn't like fake videos for clout and views. Like
Yeah,
That's what
bro.
I'm saying. I just don't get it, because there's like this, like some people are canceled in a heartbeat, and then there's these other people that I
that
think it's
yeah
just the
yeah.
money and entitlement, it just keeps
Mhm.
them going. Like Jake and Logan Paul should not have a
They should have
platform
been canceled
anymore.
multiple times, and you can't
I
cancel
just
people just to
don't
be
get
weird.
it. Well, I do get it. It's sad, like that's like what our society allows, but it's crazy.
I mean, I think it's just like, yeah. I think honestly, I think it depends on. I'm trying to think. I don't really know anybody. I can't think of somebody who got canceled and it was like something that wasn't illegal. Like most of the people I know who got canceled went to jail. Like, you know,
I mean, didn't Shane Dawson
Weinstein and
get
Harvey.
canceled last year?
Who?
Didn't Shane Dawson get canceled last year?
See, this is a different podcast we're gonna have one day.
We
It's gonna be
yeah, we gonna
about
have a
cancel culture is the
cancel
whole
culture. That's another episode coming soon this summer. You know,
because I mean I don't really
Let's go.
understand it, but
I'll
it's
have my whole
just
shout out of people who got canceled. You know,
yeah, it's weird. Honestly, I'm not like big into YouTube anymore. Like I used to like funny videos.
yeah,
Like you remember like Spoken Reasons, Nate
yes,
Carter. What's the one
he
dude's
was still
name?
in material though. I think he got called
Yeah,
out.
I heard about that. Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, YouTube was cool back then, and now, like you said, it's a lot of fake reactions, just
I
fake news.
like watching the views reactions, like music and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah,
and
I
like
love.
different like music documentaries or people that people like profile, like that's cool. But
Yeah, when I got YouTube, it's mostly like film analyses, and like music stuff. Yeah, I
I
don't
love,
watch like the
Mhm.
YouTubers. You know.
let's say,
Music videos.
yeah,
Oh
that
yeah,
too.
definitely, definitely. I remember like like the Paul brothers when they got in trouble for going to like the suicide forest in
Yeah,
Japan.
Logan. Yeah, Logan with that.
Yeah, we did that one. Yeah.
Same, you know, disappeared. And then oh, it's like nothing happened. You know, he still got a platform. You know, still making his millions.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who that is, but I believe you. Shane Dawson.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I more so don't know how, like, I can get how Logan Paul got this fight, but I don't know why Mayweather is taking this fight.
I can't look at you seriously if you sitting here fighting YouTubers.
Right. That was the weird thing. Like, if you're 50-0
Is
against like
it for charity?
nah,
It's not for charity. So why are we deciding to
Mayweather for
fight?
charity.
Like,
Mayweather for charity.
why are you wasting money on these two little gremlins? Like, why?
Oh, and then Triller said they're gonna like try to find the people who pirated the last fight.
Okay, have fun, Triller. Because
Yeah.
everybody is gonna
Catch
be
me
on
if you
YouTube.
can, Triller. I'm not paying for the Mayweather fight.
Okay. I think Bryce Hall is fighting. Isn't he fighting
Bryce,
Landon? There's one of the YouTubers.
Bryce is fighting what's his name?
Carolina. I don't know if you know Bryce Hall, but we went to high school with him.
What?
Yeah, we
You
had.
went to Howard?
Yeah, we had
I
geometry.
never
with
told
him.
you that before.
You had geometry with Bryce Hall?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
That's the class me and Sam
No
had.
Yeah,
way.
definitely.
I
hated
never
that
told you
class.
that. I never told you that, Carolyn.
No.
He was also
What?
very,
That
very.
is so funny.
He was also.
That
very,
is too good.
He was hated very much at the high school, and
He
several
was
people
hated. Yeah.
wanted to fight him all the time.
I know, like, he like went back to he went to Towson University. My friend saw him at a party at Towson, and like that. I mean, like a lot of Baltimore and Maryland kids like go to Towson, so he was
Yeah,
like he got in a fight there. He got
I'm
like
not
a
surprised. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
You had class with Bryce Hall.
I was actually
That is
I
so
Chris.
funny.
Well, I mean, I feel like I don't know, like what he's doing now, like I feel like that's not real. It's not him. Cause like I mean I was cool with them. He was in a lot of my classes actually, like senior year.
I mean, yeah, I don't have an issue. Well, I didn't really like. He used to
I
drive.
am
Dixon
so
with them.
rocked right now.
I
I
can't
can't
believe
believe
I told
that.
you that.
So were a lot of 12-year-old girls. It's okay.
Oh.
I could have sworn you knew that. It's crazy.
I mean, like, I hate that, like, I'm interested in these people. Like,
It's
I was
fine.
in a
It's
whole
natural.
conversation. I just think it's like, I don't know why. Like, I just think it's so entertaining because their lives, like, they just get famous for the random.
This is what I'm talking about for not having an actual talent and just having shitty personalities
nothing.
because it don't look like nothing's changed except his pockets.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you know,
now he's getting paid to fight. I definitely want to watch that. They're like, I'll watch
yeah,
that.
I'll watch that. I want to watch this.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he like has like a house because, like, remember during the pandemic, like,
Oh man.
I think he turned 21 over the pandemic, and like there was all that stuff on Twitter how like
You had a
Los
party
Angeles,
or something.
yeah, they
Yeah.
shut off his electricity.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember.
I just can't, like, I hate to, like, I know, like, to a degree it's sad because, like, me, like, not liking these
Shows
people,
the
but like
difference.
it's all for like they're earning that bank off my TikTok views.
I'm
like,
hip. I'm hip. Yeah.
I know. I
so
think it's sad because I mean, it's like you can work hard and basically, you know, like if you're in a field where you could get famous, you work hard and you get famous being yourself, or
Right.
you just fake your personality or exaggerate yourself and
Thank you,
you know.
because like they just like, oh, you get a contract, you did it, and the content's not good. It's not good.
wait
Because
a minute. Have you guys seen? I just looked up Bryce Hall High School, and this article, the headline, it goes, "Turns out Bryce Hall got bullied in high school."
Yeah, he did.
He
I
did
would
not
have.
get bullied.
He didn't get bullied, but he got his ass beat.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
got in several fights before. Yeah,
right, losing
several fights.
losing consensual fight, or is it consensual? Is that the good word?
Consensual, yeah, consensual fights.
Like mutual, yeah, like equal, like you're not getting beat up. Like if you're fighting him and you lose, that's not getting bullied. Like he wasn't getting like put in lockers or like made.
Exactly.
He had a lot of friends.
He
in high
had
school.
he had little tours at like the mall, Columbia Mall, for little meet and greets. Like, so,
He said he
and
was
I'm pretty
nerdy.
and I'm pretty sure most of the fights is like he started the fights or initiated. Like there was a reason. People weren't just trying to fight you to fight you. Like you was doing
Yeah,
stuff and you was talking shit. You was running your mouth. Like you was
yeah.
one of
It
those
was definitely a
people.
lot. It was a lot. See, that's what I was saying, Brad. That's cap. He did not get bullied. That's hilarious.
I don't know. I don't
That
know if
man
one
did
of his
not
fans
get
wrote
bullied
that.
in high
He
school.
was not
Stop.
bullied.
Stop. Like I said, I had a class with him every year from freshman year to senior year. He was not bullied. He had a
Definitely
lot
not.
of friends. There's a lot of people who rock with Bryce. He just likes
That
they
is
got beat up
so
a lot.
funny.
He lost fights. That's all. It's not getting
Yeah,
bullied.
just take your L. You know,
Yeah, you know.
like just own it.
That's like when the rappers are like, "Oh, my teacher said I would never do
Yeah.
anything in life." You see those? It's like, man, they didn't tell you that shit.
It's funny though. But no, applaud, applause to him, for making a career. I'll definitely give him that.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
It's cool.
For
So,
sure.
I guess I just had a few questions for Caroline about like music journalism, since that's what you do. I don't like obviously people don't know that. We know that.
Yeah.
But like, what
Yeah,
do you
so
like about it? Like, tell us about it.
okay, yeah. Um so I think it's just really how I would say like I've only written like two music related articles so far. I haven't written that much and like published that much this semester just cuz really like course load has been kicking my butt. But when like I started going to school here for journalism, like very early on kind of like they're pushing like you have to like figure out what you want to do and like at some point I was thinking about my dream job and I was like it's always been music. Like it's always been about music. That's just like my interest. Like it's my biggest interest. So like when I was like thinking about my dream job, it's just writing about music, like analyzing albums. I even like just like talking to people who are on the come up or people who make their own music with no like audience or whatever, no big following or whatever. Like that stuff like it's just my interest. So
Mhm.
when I like got a chance to start writing about that stuff, like I know like I don't really know where I'll end up like working or whatever because I think like as a journalism student, you have to keep your eyes open and like your I forget the expression, but like I can't be too picky because it's so, things are like so competitive in the industry and stuff.
Mhm.
But ideally I'd really like to write about music and I think like that really probably started probably this year um in February, funny enough, like when the weekend was doing the Super Bowl halftime show, um something just like struck in me and I was like, this man is going to take the Super Bowl stage and like then everyone's going to know his name and he has such like a rich history and like a rough past, obviously like being homeless and all his actual addiction stuff and whatever that he sings about. Like
Mhm.
it bothered me so much that people were going to watch the halftime show and like have such a surface level impression of him. So I just got to work on this huge, like excessively long article talking about every song like from his like highlights CD
Right.
um that he dropped right before the Super Bowl that had like his greatest hits. And like I just wrote like this super long article about talking about like his believed influences for the song, like what people think they're about, like
Mhm.
what the lyrics on Genius say and stuff like that. And it was like I poured my fucking soul into that article, and like it like felt so nice to like do that. Like I was like, this is like what I want to do. Like this is the type of stuff that I always want to work on.
Right.
Yeah, and like I think you asked like how I got started or whatever. Like obviously like because I'm like still a student, like a lot of it is like freelance. Like I write something and then I see who wants it or no one wants it. Um but then I think deeper is like growing up, like music was always like and it's like an inherent part of my childhood. My brother and my dad both play guitar. Like they have been playing guitar their whole lives. My brother was like doing like college show, like like he was like performing at like college restaurants and like bars and stuff.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah, it was cool. I just like was a part of like one of those like music families. So like they listen my family listened to like a lot of like classic rock and then also like 90s stuff. Um and that stuff is still, in my opinion, like I still love it so much. Like I always love like Red Hot Chili Peppers and like classic people like Pink Floyd and like I mean there's a ton, but yeah, so I think like part of it is like my upbringing. Um but then another part of it is like I always also knew that I wanted to do writing. Um so it's just I put those two interests together and that's where I am.
Nah, it's really cool though.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I feel like obviously I mean music journalism is such a big thing as far as writing and like, talking wise. But those people rarely get, I mean, like of course when you get famous, like you have like the Breakfast Club people and like Hot 97, but a lot of the other people don't really get as much shine,
Yeah,
even
definitely.
though they should.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Um it's just like also like there's nothing I hate more than like reading an article or like watching an interview where they just don't know the artist that they're speaking with.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It really irks me. Like I think we need more people in the industry that like know the people. Like there should like if there was a fan interviewing like their favorite artist or whatever, it would just be such a better interview than like a
Mhm.
journalist that works for like a random company
Right.
interviewing.
Even like when I watch like interviews online, like on YouTube or whatever, you can definitely see the difference between what you just said. Like you see that on like a lot of big places also, like the Breakfast Club and Hot 97, where it's just like whatever. The label reached out to our radio and said, "Oh, this person's coming through for press, and here are the questions you have to ask them." Versus
yeah,
like when somebody's
Yeah.
actually interviewing an artist they like and listen to and whatever.
Yeah. Um yeah, like of course, I mean like it's cool cuz like people get a like surface level look into artists. Like obviously any interview is going to help like an artist, but like the fans aren't going to watch an interview from a random radio station like of like their favorite artist. It's like these shows there's that one guy on YouTube that does all those I'm going to find him right now. But there's like he does all those interviews and he really knows what he's talking about. Like
Hardware.
oh, that one's good. He's cool,
is it
but
Kevin? What's his face?
Or Adam 22.
you said you have mixed feelings on Adam 22, right? No jumper.
I mean, I like his questions. Like, I think he's a good journalist, like a good interviewer.
Yeah,
But some of the people he chooses to have on
yeah.
there, I
Some of the
don't
people,
understand.
Selena Powell.
Yeah, like what is that? Why is she on there like talking
It's
about
like he just
what's
gives platforms to anybody, no matter how negative or like.
and he
Yeah.
doesn't have to because he's made a name. I was gonna tell you or ask you like, well, yeah, I guess tell you like that's a cool thing. Like you kind of get notoriety or you get like clout from like breaking an artist. Like the first XXX Tentacion interview I ever saw was with Adam 22,
Yeah.
and since then I've known who Adam 22 was. So when you're the first person to like talk to an artist or really get the scoop on them, I feel like that helps both of you guys like so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like he wasn't even who I was thinking of, but I think he knows his stuff. I mean, he's like I like looked at I used to know his YouTube too, and like he like is friends with a lot of people he interviews, so that's beneficial too. But I don't really follow him that closely. I know like he does a lot of random stuff like you were saying.
So I know you said you're a dancer. So how long were you dancing, or have you been a dancer? Like, how did you get
Oh
into it?
yeah, that's honestly like I don't know, like I think like there's a lot of like stuff from childhood or whatever that's like a inherent like part of my identity and like made me who I am today. But I was a dancer like recreationally. Like I wasn't like anything crazy, but like it was like twice a week. Like it was like a part of my life for like over 6 years. Um so like I don't know if like my like for music, like if dancing and stuff like helped grow my interest for music or like my interest for music grew with dancing.
Right.
Is like yeah, it's hard to like put into words, but like a lot of times like when I'm thinking of music, I'm thinking of like dance too. Like when I love a good like choreography video on YouTube. Like
Yeah,
I
those
sent
videos
one
be
to
lit.
Zion on Twitter the other day.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just another form of art. Like it's like visual art is cool, just like people love music videos. Like dance is art. And like
Definitely.
also like I know like I knew people who were like really serious about dance and stuff when I was like at my company or whatever. And like that's like it's like it's a hard work. Like dance is
Mhm.
hard work. Yeah. I'm like still trying to decide if like what the hardest like sport is cuz like what sport I don't know. I'm trying to decide like what sport you need to like be like the most physically fit to be in. A lot of people say gymnastics, honestly, cuz like
Yeah,
people in gymnastics are low key ripped. Like
Mhm.
yeah. My younger
sidebar.
sis used to do gymnastics.
Really?
Yeah, she was on competitive levels and stuff like that.
Oh, that's dope. I definitely think it's between that and like professional soccer, just because they have to run like
Yeah,
hella. Like,
Yeah,
you have to be in really good shape.
that's true. I also played soccer was like also one of my childhood sports.
A,
same.
Yeah.
I feel like soccer is weird because like everybody in America has like played soccer as a kid, but like not a lot of people keep watching soccer. Like people don't
Yeah,
continue.
let's
But
do
as a
like
kid,
the
it's
FIFA
exercise.
or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I watch soccer like when it's World Cup time, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think like I mean also like soccer is bigger in Europe because the teams are so good. Like there and like
Right.
other countries, just not the not the US basically as far as men's.
Hmm. Yeah, I know the women's team won, or they did pretty good last time, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, so on like the music journalism topic, you mentioned that it was, super competitive. Is it like, I mean, why is that? Like, is it, do you have to work for like a major publication like magazine or newspaper, or is it hard, to get a platform for yourself?
I would say like I'm only a sophomore, so I'm learning more about the industry as I grow.
Hmm.
But um more so I was saying like the journalism industry in general is
Hmm.
competitive if you want to work for a big name.
Right.
Like if you think of like the biggest news publications in the US, like all of their internship spots are like extremely competitive. So like
Hmm.
yeah, so I mean like I said, I'm still like learning about opportunities, and I'm blessed because like the college, like UMD has like a incredible program for journalism, and like they really emphasize connections, which I know you guys know are so important. So
Hmm.
like there's even like a Twitter account, shout out Meryl Works, for like finding jobs like in like internships and stuff like in journalism. Um, but it's just like I mean like I'm really speaking like if you go into like software or like IT or whatever, like you're not gonna like there's always people who need that, you know? But like
Right.
when you're I think you guys will understand like when you're a creative type person, like that is your art, and it's kind of like it's intimate like it's honestly intimidating. Like I don't publish some or I don't submit something unless like I'm a perfectionist. So like when I submit like an article or whatever, like I'm gonna make sure I'm very content with it. But like having to like list my stuff on my LinkedIn and my resume, like that's like intimidating because like that's like you're being judged on like something very personal to you. Like it's not like you're like, oh, like you're going to like being judged on like doing like an engineering test or something. Like you're being judged on like one of your passions in life. So like that's like it's intimidating.
Yeah.
And then it's also yeah, it's competitive in the way where it's like, well, okay, these companies are looking for like someone who fits their vibe, you know? So like
Hmm.
they're gonna look at your stuff and be like, oh, we think this person like I don't know. It's just a different. It's like a completely different route than like being in math or like being in science or whatever. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Don't even get me started on like the, because I go to a STEM school too, of course, and it's always like, people ask your major or what you want to do, and it's not in a STEM field,
Yeah.
and even if they don't say, they think it's like, oh, that's easy, whatever, but it's like
yeah.
it's more competitive.
Miss me with that. Like, I like my major like is hard work. Like, it's genuinely hard work, especially here. Like, and we were talking about a part that like people who are in STEM majors, I don't know if they understand, is like I'm their industries are competitive too. Like getting an internship with like I don't know, like BGE or like other like big I don't know tech companies, but like that's definitely competitive like when you're an undergrad. But like
Hmm.
when you are working as a creative, I think like in a creative field that you're trying to go into, like you have to represent yourself as a brand. Like you have to be it's about the hustle, but it's also about your uniqueness.
Right.
And yeah,
Yeah, I feel like there's a certain, like you said, there's only a few spots. I mean, you always need doctors, you'll always need engineers and, scientists and stuff like that. But like you don't need a million, like you just can't listen to what a million, music artists in a day or year or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it has to be a certain amount. So only the best of the best are gonna get, be able to do it full time. So it's like, and we were talking earlier about how easy things are now. So
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah,
Mhm.
people can write from home, people can make music from home. So it's hard for us because we're going against people,
Yeah. Definitely.
but not everybody can, like, you can't really be like an engineer on a plane from home, like you have to
Yeah.
go to school.
Yeah. And
So
like I'm admittedly like I don't know how you guys handle like criticism or whatever, but like admittedly like I'm a pretty sensitive person, especially when like if I pour everything into something,
Yeah.
like I want it to get the attention that I think it deserves. I want people to like it. But like part of that is like you have to be willing to accept that you're not A, not perfect, and B, not everyone is gonna like or want to read what you put out. Like, yeah.
yeah,
That's like when I put out my weekend article, like the yeah, it's just like not everyone like listens to very few people in my circle listen to the weekend like I do and stuff. So it's like you have to know your own worth. Like you have to be so cool, like and self-confident like of your own work, especially because like if you think about it, like it's creepy to know that like this podcast and like everything I publish is like out there in the world and like it can just like be discovered
Right.
and like anyone can see it or whatever.
yeah. It's definitely, I
Definitely.
mean, even like, even when we're not, where we want to be yet, or we don't have like a huge following or anything, like we're still, the three of us, everyone else who's trying to do what we want to do, we are public figures, just in the fact that like we have to put our stuff out there. You can be a doctor
Yeah.
in secret. If you suck as a doctor, like that
Yeah.
can be secret, like you don't know. But
Nobody knows, but like
yeah, we
we're
can't.
publicly out there. Yeah.
Right. If your music is bad, if your writing's bad, if your movies are bad, like people know because we have to put it out in order to make money. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's one thing like I've been told like in lots of my journalism classes thus far that like like your social media presence is like super important and like to the point where I don't follow the rules that I'm supposed to like follow. I've had professors tell me to like I had a professor tell me, I mean this was last semester. Okay, well actually this was last semester. It wasn't a year ago. But like I
Mhm.
remember a professor telling us to not post about Black Lives Matter and I was like, fuck that.
Right.
Mm.
Like fuck that. Yeah. It's like it's scary because like if you think about like everything like you put out there is so public like I think it's like important to like especially like keeping like public and private accounts like
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
I think it's like, I mean, this goes deeper. We definitely don't have to get into it because I could talk about it all day. But it's
Yeah.
like
Definitely.
professionalism as far as like trying to avoid strong opinions or certain looks because they might look bad on a future employer and blah blah blah. But it's like if we all get away from that mindset that I mean, people have personal lives, like you know your views don't represent the company's views necessarily, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm in this really cool class right now that talks like all about a lot of the stuff we've been talking about with like cancel culture and just like law like on like a law level like what should people be judged for if
Mm-hmm.
from a law standpoint but then like So like you'll analyze a case, like for example, like journalist Twitter from 2011 like has racist comments on it. And then like you have to we look at that from like a law standpoint, like
Mhm.
and then we like try to analyze it as like her employer, and then
Mhm.
it's like on a personal level, what decision do you think should be made? Like do you think they should keep their job? Like do you think we
Sure,
should
sure.
let it go? Like and like it's tough because it's like who knows the answer. I don't know the answer. Like for some of these it's like yeah, cancel them. But then like other people it's like I don't know. Obviously like as a white person that's like a different, like I can't like see from another perspective. Like I have to like recognize that when I'm analyzing this, but it's like I don't know. I think it's a gray area. I think it's tough.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, and
definitely.
then on top of like, journalism supposedly like it's supposed to be, like without bias for the most part, unless it's specifically like an opinion thing. So then it's kind of hard, if you go through their Instagram or their Twitter and it's like a whole bunch of racist stuff, and now they're talking about subjects dealing with it. It's like, it's kind of, it's just kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are like I don't know. I love talking about this. I love talking about this stuff. Like
Yeah, no, same. I like
Yeah,
having,
deep conversations about stuff like this.
yeah.
it's good to have people, also understand that don't live like so far away or whatever. I don't know.
Mm.
So, what are your top 5 artists, current and like all time?
That is a tough question. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, this is
Um,
always a tough question for everybody.
I
I'm gonna guess.
Really.
I need to pull up my honestly like I need to pull up my stats, but what do you like? Do you guys know yours?
What did I say? Ooh, dang.
Hold
You want to
on
go
one
first?
sec.
You want to go first, Z?
Yeah, sure. Dang. Are we separating current or all time?
Are you saying of all time, or are you doing? We want to do top 5 currently?
If
You can do currently.
top five currently, I would say, that's kind of hard.
So,
I would say The Weekend is one, J. Cole is two, Brent Fayez is three. I think, hmm, I think SZA might be four.
okay.
I didn't know
Hey. Okay.
Yeah,
that.
yeah, SZA. Because I mean, I've known SZA for like a minute. The first song I
Yeah.
heard from her was like, I think it's called like Teenage Dreams or Teenage something, Teen Fever, something like that. It was good. It was really good. Um, dang, that was four, five. Probably Kendrick or Drake are both in there. I don't know.
Got it.
Hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you go. You go.
Okay. Um, this is gonna really like this is very on brand. Like it exposes my sad girl and also like R&B rap like dichotomy. Um, so the weekend. It's okay. All time. See, I'm late to the XO game. Like I admittedly got hip to the weekend very late. But like honestly, I mean like I guess I would say he's in my top artists of all time. Like I think I'll never like turn back on him at this point. But weekend, Frank Ocean, Kid Cudi. I would say I mean I think Brent is like I listen to Brent like every single day and have for a while. I don't know, like I think like I'm mixing like my all time and right now, but and then I I don't know. Like Ariana might be up there, but I really love Billie Eilish. Like
Okay.
I like she's got a special spot in my heart. Like I was hip to her like when she like had like one song out, and now I think like
What's that?
when you like see someone like become like a pop star, like when they like were so underground, like it just like sticks with you. And but she makes a lot of really sad music.
Yeah. What do you think of her new era, Your Power?
Her new era or like her
Yeah.
new song?
Both, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys like I said, like I just like some sad girl music. Like I love Billie. But like she had a documentary that came out I
Yeah, I
think a
saw
few
some of
months
it.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, World's a Little Blurry. And that just like reinforced like a lot of thoughts I have about her music, like or a lot of opinions, like my guesses, I guess, and other people's guesses about what it was about. Um I think she just like that era, like this is gonna sound so bad. Like this is gonna sound like a flaming hot take again, but like it was like not near like obviously not nearly as dark as After Hours, but like her last album was talking about suicide, like it was talking about like just really dark stuff she was going through. It was later revealed that she was like in an abusive relationship.
Yeah, I heard that.
And,
Yeah.
and the thing is, she's 19, so
Right.
I just like respect it. And then with her new era, like I think it's just gonna be incredible. Like it's another artist that like is just having this growth. It's kind of bittersweet because like I'll always see like and people like fans of hers have the same opinion. Like she's known for like really sad music. So
Mm-hmm.
like seeing her change and like be happy like be happy now, people are like some people are kind of like pissed, which is like bad because it's like no, like she's growing as a person, like you should be happy that she's happy, but it's definitely going to be different.
Sound is changing, her image is changing. She's more in touch with her feminine side. Like,
Yeah, blonde billy is blonde billy is a look like when she changed her hair, yeah. Because she had like black and green hair, and now it's like blonde, and like that's like her new, yeah, she like I mean like it's another like artist that I feel like she's doing this like cinematic, like I think her new album is going to be like very like plot line, like very like visual, you know, like I hope there's like some cool. I honestly wasn't that impressed by like her newest music video, like it was very plain.
it was
So
weird
like
to me
I'm
with the snake wrapping her. I was like, the hell?
yeah.
Like,
So like I'm hoping that like I'm sure we'll get like more better stuff. Um but like I think if she like sticks to, not that she has to, like obviously she has freedom, but like I think it could be very powerful if like she keeps up with like all this visual stuff and like maybe has a plot line.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I
What about you
think
say?
my top five. Woo, okay,
Yeah.
so I think Kendrick, Frank,
Mm.
Brent, SZA, probably Kalani. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah. I
I
feel
feel
like
like we're
top 10 is like
yeah.
yeah. What were you saying, Ryan?
no, I was saying I feel like we're such Marylanders
We really are though.
for we all have
we
Brent.
gotta we gotta drive Brent
Oh
for a minute.
yeah. I mean, like, I'm sure, like, Brent, with you guys, since you guys are like, I mean, like, obviously, I'm from Maryland, but I'm from like northern Baltimore County. But like, Brent is like
Yeah,
from,
Joker.
yeah, that's great. That's
Yeah,
every like guy I know that's from like Columbia or like Hoka or whatever. Like,
Do we act
they
like
love
yeah,
Brent.
oh
Um,
definitely.
damn? I
yeah,
thought you were
I
saying
would.
like Brent.
Remember when Crew
What were you
came
saying?
out? Like,
I thought you could say we act like Brent.
Oh no! Please.
Toxic. Hey.
No, yeah, I would say notable mentions. SZA, like you guys said, SZA,
Oh yeah.
she's got to be because like I said, like a lot of Control, I admittedly skip. However, Garden and there's just a couple songs from that album and other stuff like Good Days, of course,
Oh
that are
yeah.
just so good. Like her good stuff is just so good.
Good Days is on repeat all the time.
She's also
Yeah.
drop dead gorgeous. Like she's perfect. So
wifey. Yeah.
yeah, wifey material.
That's literally me and Lion's wife. Like,
Yeah. Low key. Nah, she's like, I remember when she got signed to TDE and everybody was going crazy because I think she was the first person. Well, yeah, I think she's the first woman signed to TDE. So I remember that being a big deal back when TDE actually released music consistently.
yeah.
Yeah, because they had when they came out, didn't they come and say oh yeah, someone's dropping an album soon, and it was
Yeah.
between Zarashad, SZA, and Kendrick. Is Kendrick signed to them?
Yeah,
he
he's
is.
still signed. He signed up with a couple labels as well.
People were really hoping that it was between one of the three of them.
Everybody said
Yeah.
Kendrick, but they on the 6th, we found out it was Isaiah. So I'm just like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's done the promo run. He has a single. So, but
So
I mean,
yeah.
I like Isaiah a lot. He's probably my second favorite off of TDE, behind Kendrick. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Sis is kind of different because she doesn't rap, so she's in her own lane over there.
She on her
the
own,
rest
yeah.
But yeah, that's lists are hard.
Yeah. Definitely.
Oh
yeah,
no.
they are.
What I was saying, I forgot. What I was saying about Brent was because we've known about him for a minute since Crew was 2017. That song played every time I got in the car.
Yes.
So
the summer of
Yeah.
2017 was a vibe, yeah.
Yeah, that joke was crazy. But no, I went on his Instagram and I saw, I think he's still under 2 million followers, which is obviously a lot, it's huge. But just the fact that I don't know, I think we feel like he's more famous than he is. So he's kind of low key still our secret for now.
He still creeps into the DMV, Colombia. I'll see the little Instagram he posts or whatever. I'll be like, oh dang, he's in he's in Coco. I'll be like, yo,
POV, I'm getting in my car. POV, I'm getting in my car and I'm tracking him down.
That is.
Did I tell you about when I saw him before?
No, where?
So this was I think this was 2000. This was 2017. And I knew what Crew was. I heard it in the car all the time. But I heard, Link and Shy Glizzy, but I didn't know who Brent Fires was yet. I heard him. Good. Yeah, I love Shy Glizzy. But he's yeah, it was by Columbia Mall, and he was driving with his window down. He was saying what's up to people, wave or whatever. And people were oh my God, that's Brent. That's Brent. I'm who is Brent? Is he I thought he was a football player or something. I'm who is Brent? Because they just said Brent. I'm
that's
Brent?
that R&B singer.
Yeah, they even say and then I figured out I was oh, Brent, Brent Fayez from that one song I like that comes on all the time. So I was okay, cool. I didn't even know he's from here until then. I was shit, that's tough.
Got Brent, we got Gallant,
Rico Nasty,
yes, a lot of talent.
Us,
IDK.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of while we're talking about Brent, what did you think of Now I Have to Show You Off? The song he did that me and Zion had a conversation about it, and he released a month to go, a music video out of the blue. I think he released it out of the blue, kind of.
Yeah.
But what do you think of it and the messages and stuff? Because it's not. He definitely had a vibe switch. It was a vibe switch, but obviously a positive one.
I thought it was good. I mean, the thing about, the quote unquote like toxic people, like we were saying, they are being honest and truthful, which means, I mean, they don't feel like that all the time, right? So you're definitely gonna have like real love songs. And the video was really cool, like the appreciation for Black women. And I think yeah, the song, the video, everything was, appreciative for Black women, which was great. Um, and I think that wasn't that during Women's Month too? It came out.
Yeah, it was. So
Women's,
it was March.
yeah,
It was March.
March, right? Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's good and necessary for sure. I think he
Mhm.
mostly did it because one, that's how he feels, and I think he doesn't want to get too far into like the quote unquote toxic zone and
Yeah, I agree with that.
like a misogynist or whatever.
There's a time to be toxic and there's a time to be, conscious.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I like this. I mean, like, I agree with the messages and I like the song too. And the music video. Yeah, it was great.
yeah, it was nice. I'm ready for more. I think he's supposed to have an album
Yeah,
soon-ish.
he's working on his sophomore album, so I'm looking forward to that this
Hmm.
year.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing if it came out this year.
Right. So, what are your likes and dislikes when it comes to music journalism?
Hmm. Okay. I think, well, likes is like, I think one thing I don't want to take for granted and I want to always remember to be grateful for is like, while I'm a student, like I said, like I kind of like freelance in the sense that like I'll go to different student publications to like try to get my stuff published. So really, I can write about anything I want and then try to get it published somewhere. Like I think like there's freelance journalists that like do that full time, but then like when if like you get hired for a company, like I don't think you can freelance as much, or people don't tend to freelance as much because like they're under a company and then they have more specific requirements. So like where I'm at right now, it's nice because I have a lot of creative reign. Like I can write about something, um, and just try to find someone who will take it and who likes it and whatever. That's a huge like. And then like of course like working like at my own schedule. Like I I don't know, like I'm not like hired yet. So that's like nice being an undergrad and like I write something and I'm not like under the pressure of a timeline or whatever. Cuz I feel like with creative stuff like my brain works in the way where like I can't be like rushed to write something creative. Like it just comes to me and then I work on it and then it's finished. Like
Right.
um and yeah, I mean like I think the dislikes like as far as like professional music journalists is like what I was saying like I think people who work and who interview celebrities and music people need to be more well versed in what they like are interviewing them on because I
Mhm.
don't like this is there's a reason why the weekend doesn't do interviews like and like not I don't even think Brent does that many interviews like there's like there's
I've seen a
Frank
couple
Ocean.
recently, but it's not. I think it's kind of rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of people. I think like Frank Ocean doesn't really do interviews like
Yeah.
and it's like there's a reason and it's honest I think like a lot of it has to do with like their art form isn't that understood or appreciated by the right people. Like I tweeted the other day, I was like, when someone like doesn't like appreciate like my passions in life or whatever, like it's a blow.
Mhm.
So like I think like in the industry, I guess, like I wish we had fans interviewing like music artists. Like I wish there was I don't know. I just wish people studied more. It's like the way that like people still don't know the weekend's real name. Like
Yeah.
he put it in his Instagram bio though.
It
Yeah,
is
and
true.
then like um sorry, and then like I said, like of course it's competitive, but yeah, I mean like I love what I am trying to do, so
You know, it's really good. That's really great. I mean, you know, being passionate is, I feel like, how you get the best stuff.
yeah.
Especially, you know, the time we're in now where it's, I mean, we can do that easier than ever before. So it's kind of hard to force ourselves to do things we're not passionate about when we know we can earn money and, you know, sustain ourselves doing things that we are passionate about. So
Mhm.
it's nice.
Mhm.
Whew. Um, well, Sam, do you have any more questions?
Oof, okay. How does your journalism you feel your journalism differ from other journalists?
So, in school at UMD, like I've had to go, and I still will have to do a lot of like traditional like news writing, like hard news is what they call it, classes about how to like write like breaking news and like how to do like crime stuff and investigative stuff. Like they have classes for that here that I can take
Mm-hmm.
and probably will take some depending on like availability and stuff. So it's totally different. Like as far as hard news, what I've learned about it, it follows a very specific. It's like an equation. Like when I was doing writing stuff for that class, like I was following like super strict guidelines. Um, as far as like stylistic guidelines, there's this thing called like the AP style book, which is like how most things like um that are published like through student publications, like it's like specific ways to use like grammar and like formatting and stuff. So when you're writing like breaking news and stuff like that, you have to follow that very specifically. Even though you have to, that's a bad example because you have to use AP for everything, but like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's just like it's an equation where like in the first sentence you're supposed to do this, and like you're supposed to have like it's called there's this phrase, it's called if it bleeds it leads. So like if it's like talking about violent crime, you're supposed to always start with that stuff, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
like the inverted pyramid um format, which is like you put like the juiciest stuff at the beginning and stuff. um so it's totally different because with creative stuff, um like all of the articles I've done have been kind of more like investigative pieces where they're much longer.
Mm-hmm.
um these like breaking news stuff have very specific like word counts, and they're usually not too long. But man, I think one of my last articles was like 2000 or 3000 words. It was lengthy. So that's a big difference. I think timeliness though, like that's like I mean, it's a difference in the way that like if you're covering like hard news, I mean like you're going to the scene and like getting interviews and stuff. But then like timeliness is still important when like an album drops, like you have to be on top of it. Like you want to get your review out quick.
Yeah, for
Right.
deadlines.
But
Yeah,
I think that's a difference, yeah.
That makes sense.
yeah,
Hmm.
totally.
Well, Caroline, anything else you want to tell us?
Any projects you're working on?
Man, I've been trying to publish again soon. I kind of fell off since like It's been a few months because school, like I said, has just been hard this semester. But I'm always like, I'm always trying to gauge a nice album release that I can work on.
Mm-hmm.
It could be J. Cole's. J.
Ooh,
Cole's album
yeah.
could be my next article.
Hey,
Um,
looking forward for that.
yeah, I mean, like I'm always all I'm like the next thing, whatever project I'm working on next, it's gonna be music. Because that's what I'm like. That's what I like. That's what I'm itching for right now. So probably like an album release. Like also like July is gonna be like. I feel like there's so much coming out in like May through July.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel. When is Drake's album coming out?
you said Drake's.
Yeah,
It
does he
don't
have a
even.
release date?
You said summer, but it doesn't have a
Okay.
release date
Oh,
yet.
he said summer.
Yeah, so
It's
hopefully
definitely
we.
gonna be August or September. I feel like it's
Yeah,
gonna be late.
yeah, I'm gonna be tight. I mean, it'll be worth the wait, but I'm just hoping K Dot by like midsummer.
That'd be crazy if all three dropped in because they've never done that. Like all three of them haven't dropped like an album.
It's been since like 2017, 2018. So they've all dropped in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And those were all great.
Definitely, definitely. So what's like one song everybody's been listening to, like your song of the week?
Oof, let's see.
I don't know how you guys like if you do like playlists like because I know some people have really like bold opinions on like they only listen to their liked songs or like they listen to their playlists. How I do my music is I do it by quarters. And
Okay.
I've been doing it since like 2017. So like right now it's quarter two, because it's April, May, June. So
That's cool. That's
that's
cool
like
though.
all my most played stuff is going in that um like in that playlist, but I also have like obviously a million other playlists for like
Mhm.
different moods and stuff. I would say my most played right now is um 4 a.m. by 2 Chainz and Travis Scott, which is an
Okay.
oldie.
Oh, these classics.
um No Sense by Baby Keem.
Okay.
Um
Okay.
um Solid from Slime Language 2.
Mhm.
And then
Yes.
Playing Games, Summer Walker. Okay, that was
Okay.
a lot, but those are
No, it's
my
good. It's
those
good.
To I was listening to let me see. I was listening to this song by They called All Mine.
Okay.
And I was listening to also what's that song? Um I was listening to Vaughn's song again, Neighbors,
Yes.
and
Yes.
the Willow song, Transparent Soul. Yeah.
For me, it was. I just heard it. It was Interlude. J. Cole.
Mhm.
Um, Over and Over by this guy 909 Memphis. Um, What You Need, Don Tolliver.
Ooh.
And I'd have to say, I think Solid as well.
Mhm.
Or Slide.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I like said something so Zion, do you remember what I said about that song that was like so controversial?
Did you
I
say
said
that was
that
your
like
favorite Drake song?
Solid is like I have been listening to it so much since it came out. Like it might be one of my favorite Drake songs, which I know is a
Yeah.
very controversial thing. It's
No,
just
it's
so
it's
like hype.
it's definitely a great song. I was a little
Yeah.
concerned. He said that was supposed to be on his new
What,
album.
Solid?
He said it was supposed to
It was supposed to be in
be.
his album? Wow, that's okay.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
not sure how
okay.
that fits into the certified lover boy theme, but
He be killing, the features, so I
yeah,
expect
yeah,
nothing
yeah,
for him.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now,
Go.
if we're talking if the new Drake album, there's one song that I'm looking forward to, and that's the most, and that's the one with The Weeknd and Travis Scott. That's like supposed to, that's like got not it didn't get leaked, but like the track, a
It's been
picture of
previewed.
the track got leaked. Yeah,
Damn, I hate when people do that. Can't let us have
Interesting.
nothing. Interesting though. That we need another Weekend, Drake song. The
It's
crew,
been
yeah,
a
I
the crew will
know.
always be, that signature.
Yeah,
yeah.
Love.
When's the last time? Yeah, it's been a while
Yeah,
since they collabed. Yeah, I think like 2013.
yeah.
Yep. Well, Caroline, I want to say thank you for coming on.
Thank you for coming on, blessing us with your knowledge of music because you have so much taste. I love when people trade to trade off and like share like our music different tastes and seeing another music
yeah.
lover.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Yeah, same with you guys. Immaculate taste, like all around. But thank you
Yeah.
so much for having me. Yeah.
Definitely, anytime. We'll definitely be reaching out to you because we got some projects, coming out for the summer as
Yes.
well. We have some live in person showcases, so definitely gonna invite you.
Oh yeah, she's definitely.
Sounds good. Thank you guys.
No problem, no problem. All right, I'm Sam, also known as Sam the Seuss.
Zino Line.
I'm Caroline.
This has been the Creators Club podcast. Catch y'all next week. And happy, get through those finals, in summer.
Yes.
All right, we out.